Wanted, someone to go back in time and cover games news with us. This is not a joke. Oh shit. Fuck. Wanted, someone to go back in time and cover games news with us. This is not a joke. You'll get paid an exposure after we get back. We've done this 5 times before. Journalism not guaranteed. Isn't it 6?
Yeah, the last one that I saw copied and pasted said 4.
Alright, awesome. Journalism not guaranteed. The only gaming news podcast that covers future, past, present, future not included. I'm Tectonic Improv, and here are my hosts.
I'm Tabby Nickel. We're the only gaming podcast that's ahead of the curve.
I'm Null Toxicity, and I am way too stuffed on stuffed crust pizza.
How was the pizza? Do you want to... You were talking about how you wanted to tell us more on the podcast.
Dude, this is a call-out post for John Schnatter right now. No, I just go to order some stuffed crust pizza from Papa John's, and I'm like, okay, well, they have an option. It's like epic stuffed crust pizza. And I'm like, okay, well, that's great and all. I don't mind an epic stuffed crust pizza, but like, where are the sizes? And I just think, and I'm looking, there's just no sizes anywhere. I can't, then I realize epic is the size, and it's just a large. And so I spent like 10 minutes. I spent like 10 minutes just like sitting there trying to figure out like what the size was supposed to be, and it's just epic.
So is there like an extra epic size if you want like a big pizza?
No, they only come in epic size. Sorry.
Well, is epic big?
It's like a large. So what, like 16
what kind
inch?
of large are we talking? Because
diameter.
Some restaurants have pretty large pizzas, but then sometimes there are some restaurants that have like fucking insanely large pies.
I think Papa John's large is like 16 inch radius diameter. I don't know how they measure it, but circumference.
It's
14 inches
diameter.
Oh, is it 14? Okay.
14?
Yep, an extra large comes between 16 and 18.
Is that diameter or is that radius?
That is diameter.
Okay.
Radius would be half, so like half of 18 inches is like
it's diameter 7 squared.
Okay, what's the circumference though?
So I got a PS5.
Yeah.
Pog.
Showed up in the mail on Monday. I as soon as I got into work, I got the email that my package from Walmart had been delivered. So I was a little pissed. But, you know, I can't really complain too much because, you know, it's there now. So I spent the whole day at work being like, it's just one more hour of work, and then I can go set up my PS5. And thankfully, it wasn't as bad as when I got the OLED, and it took me like an hour and a half to set that thing up because it's a video game console, so you just sort of plug it in and let it go. It's pretty cool.
I can imagine you ran home, you plugged it in, you excitedly pulled out your no games and didn't play them.
Yeah, true. At least the console itself comes with a game.
Oh, what did it come with?
I have Demon Souls though, so
a game with heavy quotations.
Wait, what's the game?
Astro's Playroom.
It is a glorified tech demo.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. The thing is that like, you know, they has all these like little cameos of like the little Astrobot guys who are like pretty cute. They're like, some of them are dressed up as other like Sony or Sony associated IPs, and every single time I see one of them, I'm just like, man, Sony hasn't done shit with you in years and probably never will.
Yeah.
And just a little cynical, I guess, but like, come on, dude. I see Jumping Flash. It's like, what the fuck was the last time they used Jumping Flash? Or like Ape Escape. It's like, you fuckers didn't even publish Ape Escape 2 in the West. Suck a dick. Fucking annoying. Demon Souls is cool though. I spent an hour and a half trying to beat the first level of Shrine of Storms.
You know, I still haven't touched Demon Souls, and I've had it since launch.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah, no, I like Demon Souls. I just haven't tried good Demon Souls.
Hey, you have it on PS3, right? So you do have good Demon Souls.
No, that one runs at like 3 frames a second.
Runs at like 25, 30.
It's 18 max.
No, it's not.
Yes.
God, so annoying. It's like literally fine most of the time.
It's literally fine 40% of the time.
It's better
when
than
you're
the
in areas
Sega
that don't have
32X.
enemies.
Yeah, see, it's better than the 32X. All right,
My bad.
And that's,
You're right.
And that's the bar we have. So that's kind of all.
PS5, 32X, neck and neck.
Pizza, Sega 32X. I think we can get into the news now.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know when we started just talking about shit at the beginning of this podcast, but
Well, it's just supposed to be it's the icebreaker section.
Yeah.
You know, you just
Okay.
sort of talk about stuff for a bit.
extend the
get
runtime.
Extend the runtime. We gotta hit 2.5 hours, guys. We have to.
So we can run more ads.
So when I listen to it at double speed at work, I have an hour lot time.
Do you listen to podcasts at 2x speed?
Yeah, because I have to.
Insane.
I have to do the liner notes.
Oh, I was asking like all podcasts.
Fuck no.
I
Okay,
actually
thank God.
so in Reaper the podcast is 120 beats per minute and I put it up to 200 beats per minute when I edit it. So I'm also doing kind of 2x speed.
Beats per minute.
Yeah, well, you know, this is how it does. Yeah, let's get into the news. What do we got? Tabby?
Yeah, Tabby, you start.
Yeah, I'll start. I'll start with the thing I've been wanting to talk about the most.
All right.
There was a thing on Twitter going about like, devs, what's an Easter egg you put into your game that nobody ever found? And one of the directors, I believe, of Homefront: The Revolution just went out on Twitter and said, yeah, there's a full 4K remaster of Time Splitters 2 inside this game. And everybody kind of just went like, what? Because the first two
Everyone's
levels,
saying all these like little. Sorry, everyone's saying all these like little things, and it's like, yeah, I put this little message to my my soon to be daughter in the video game. It's like, oh yeah, I added like a extra firework effect. It's like, I added a remaster of an old video game in the code that no one's found somehow. What?
yeah. So he used to work for Crytek, which is the company that made that game. And people knew that the first two levels existed. Level 2 was data mined, and level 1 was found. So, and people just assumed it was like, oh, it's a little thing. Apparently, the guy or whoever put it in there owns the source code to the game, to Time Splitters 2. So that's why he was able to make a full like a full port inside Homefront: The Revolution. He apparently went. Also, I didn't realize this because I didn't read his replies to the tweet. He ported the multiplayer for it as well.
How do you keep this a secret? How do you not tell someone this?
If somebody were to like go into the game and hack in like multiple like arcade machines, it would boot to the multiplayer menu and you could like possibly maybe play multiplayer.
But more importantly, the big thing about it is people are asking him like, well, how do we access everything else and all that? And he goes, well, you know, you had to like find everything in the game or like 100% it or something to technically get everything, which nobody did because this game is terrible. And he said there was a cheat code that you could do because it's like hidden inside an arcade machine. And it was like, well, do you have the cheat code? And he went, no. I gave it to somebody to leak about 3 years ago in a Discord server. They called him a liar and banned him, and I've since lost that notebook.
They do it for free.
Yes.
All right, so easy. All we have to do is 100% Homefront: The Revolution, and then we can get Time Splitters 2 HD.
Yeah, about that. So
Here it is.
I decided with this, and also like before this even came out, I had this weird thought in the back of my head of like, I should replay Homefront, the original game.
What Tabby did when she saw this news was just like, I know. Goes to her shelf, grabs her collector's edition of the Homefront: The Revolution. It's like, time to play you again.
I didn't have a collector's edition. I rented that game, so I didn't
From
even own
Gamefly?
it for my Xbox. No.
So everyone, renting video games is this old thing that people used to do where for a weekend you instead of purchasing a game outright, you spent $4 to $8 to all right, fucking bits
it was $5 rentals because it was summertime. At least I think it was summertime, or it was like it was a school break because it was like in like 2009. or Hollywood Video was like the last one open. And so I was like, okay, I should replay Homefront, because I remember like enjoying that game, not remembering anything about it. I just remember enjoying it, and boy was I wrong. So the game is what the 7th gen, yeah. So it is one of those games that you could analyze it and break it down and point out every single problem with 7th gen like AAA Western action games. Inside a single
it's just one of those games to me.
Gunplay is really bad, except for I remember the multiplayer being good, and I've talked with other people because I was streaming playing this inside a Discord server, and people are like, yeah, I played the multiplayer. The multiplayer was good, but the servers are down, so you can't play it anymore.
Well, okay, is it like good? Like, I thought Resistance Fall of Man's multiplayer was good, and people tell me that it wasn't.
And I've watched gameplay, and I
like Metroid Prime 2's multiplayer.
And I can't give you a legitimate answer, because the gameplay I see, it's like those people are bad at first-person shooter games, so I can't trust their opinion. And I'd have to play it again, and you can't. So that's that. However, that game is on the most bottom level problematic. On the highest level, racist.
It's just Red Dawn, right?
It is. So it's written by the guy who wrote the screenplay for Red Dawn. Didn't know that until I beat the game, which was interesting.
Why not just call it Red Dawn then?
But North Korea makes a conglomerate and takes over all of Asia, and then invades the western half of the U.S. And then you, as a part of the resistance, you and your quirky teammates wearing a "Don't Tread on Me" flag shirt and a Texas Longhorns cowboy belt.
This is just Homefront, right?
Yes.
All right, I keep thinking this is Homefront: The Revolution.
No. We'll get to that.
It came out way later. I was getting confused.
It was like 7 years later, I think.
It came out in 2016. This one came out 2011.
It came out 2011?
March. Yeah.
Wow, time flies. Maybe I didn't rent it. Maybe I like borrowed it from a friend then. But whatever.
For $8.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. So you're attacking supply depots to get white phosphorus to shoot at the North Koreans. And
Aren't the North Koreans like...
It's always white phosphorus.
Yes.
Like every time.
And
they just thought it was cool.
It really is Spec Ops: The Line without any of the like, we know what we're writing part of Spec Ops: The Line. Also, every character sounds like a Family Guy side character.
I think I know exactly what you mean.
It's great. The only major thing I want to mention about it is there's a scene where you shoot an exploding barrel and kill a soldier, and then the "Don't Tread on Me" flag wearing shirt guy says, "I thought I smelled Korean barbecue."
Jesus Christ. That is such a like that's something I would expect Duke Nukem to say, not Homefront men.
Yes.
It's like a Lo Wang line.
And so because of that, I was like, okay, I wanted to play Homefront so I could play Homefront: The Revolution. I went to play Homefront: The Revolution, and then I found out after playing it, or putting about 30 minutes into it, that it was, we don't have the access, you have to 100% it, because I was trying to play the time splitters for the podcast to see how it was, and I said, fuck it, and gave up. Don't play those games, they're bad. But
Time Splitters 2, though, pretty good.
Time Splitters 2, probably pretty good. I haven't played it.
You might want to take a listen to the soundtrack, though. It's got some pretty cool covers, like War Ensemble by Slayer, covered by As I Lay Dying.
Really?
Fight the Power by Public Enemy. Yeah, no, covered by the Dillinger Escape Plan featuring Chuck D.
And Time Splitters 2?
No, and Homefront.
I might have to buy the soundtrack. That's kind of cool.
Homefront or Homefront: The Revolution?
Homefront, regular Homefront.
There was no music in that game.
Masters of War.
There was no music in that game.
I'm looking at it right now.
It was so much like it literally sounded like the Gearbox fake modern shooter they made as a press release for either like Borderlands or Duke Nukem. it sounded very bad. Like I do not. I believe that sounded maybe for the multiplayer. No, but I don't know. I literally there was no music in that game that was worth remembering.
Okay, one more thing about this game, then we can move on. For fuck's sake, the THQ in the controversy section of Homefront, which is fairly large, THQ released 10,000 balloons near San Francisco as a publicity stunt during the Game Developers Contest, angering local environmentalists after balloons fell into the San Francisco Bay.
What?
That's good, and it's banned in South Korea for
Obvious reasons.
Being racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
7 out of 10 from Game Informer.
Very cool. Thanks, Game Informer. That's GameStop's magazine, right?
It's like a 4 or a 3.
It was at the time.
I feel like you have to take whatever critics say and just subtract 3.
Yeah.
THQ Nordic. Since we mentioned them, I'm just going to talk about this. It has nothing to do with THQ Nordic, actually. There
is THQ Nordic news.
Well,
it's pretty quick though. They're just porting Destroy All Humans to the Switch.
Oh, okay, that's cool. But Embracer Group kind of sucked up Gearbox, or like finished sucking up Gearbox.
The Atlas news from last week.
Yeah. And I mentioned this in relation to THQ Nordic is because they own THQ Nordic. So I don't know what this means. It's like Randy Pitchford was, he's like, our team is incredibly excited about the opportunity we have now. Far from riding off into the sunset, we are now positioned to launch new IPs, do more with our existing brand, grow our base of incredibly talented team members, and capitalize on new opportunities in our mission to entertain the world. This is just a start. So, Randy Pitchford, I don't know. Did he take a role like in Embracer, like a leading role as part of this? Did anyone follow this at all?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
Okay.
He probably maintains his position in the company in some way. I feel like if he didn't, then he wouldn't have accepted the buyout.
Yeah.
I feel like Gearbox is doing fine, or was doing fine.
Well, weren't they having to get games published? Borderlands is published by 2K, right?
Take-Two, right? Same difference.
Same difference.
Well, weren't they always published by them?
Yeah, but Gearbox had some games that weren't, but all their big properties were being published by people who were taking more of the profits from them, I think. So I think.
So you think that this could let them self-publish?
So I think they're going to publish under the THQ Nordic brand, but it's going to allow them to retain more profits inside the company or something.
I guess I should note that this is not necessarily this is a merger, so it's not
okay. I was everything I was reading on it made it sound like it was a buyout, so that's why I was a little confused.
You know how mergers are. There's always a percentage of bigger company is still taking more from smaller company, but it's still a merger. I don't know. But yeah, Randy Pitchford is going to be staying. We know that for sure. Embracer is just they just buy. They're in the business of buying developers. That's it. That's what they do.
It's a good business. At least for the developers, it's a good business for them to get money from people.
Yeah, we should start doing that, I think.
Journalism not guaranteed games.
JNG Games.
Yeah.
Challenge everything.
Very good. We could be a household name.
JNG Games. Warning.
I think that's all I have to say about that, though. It's just this is money shifting hands, and I don't really. I guess it means that Gearbox will be doing new things. Whether they're good or not, time will tell.
Fun note about Randy Pitchford: his personal company, LLC behind him, for legal trouble and stuff, is called Pitchford Magic LLC, and I just think that's very funny.
Yeah, he's a magician.
He also is the owner of Lootbox LLC.
At least it's in the hands of a good guy like Randy Pitchford. That means no one else can take it.
Exactly. I looked
That's
at
how
the
that
whole
works.
business web once, and those are the two things I
Maybe
remember
now
from
that
it.
like they're under the same banner, THQ Nordic can release like Loot Box Remastered.
But fucking, I mean, what games could they remaster that they haven't already? Because like they remastered Borderlands, they remastered
Did they?
Bulletstorm. Yeah, they did. It was like free or it was a free update on PC.
It came free on your
or a
Xbox.
few years ago.
I don't know. I like Duke Nukem
Opposing
3D.
Force.
I don't know.
Duke. Randy pretends he cares about Duke. He doesn't give a shit.
Duke
about
Nukem Forever Remastered
Oh yeah, they
with
they
1,000 new voice lines.
Duke Nukem Forever. Just do it again.
Duke Nukem Forever, but get Gianni as Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem Forever Infinity.
It's an endless runner. It's a roguelike. It's a roguelike shooter now. Those are all the rage.
Yeah. All right, I think we can move on now.
They could port Aliens Colonial Marines and fix that bug. The
That
one
one bug
of,
that
the one line of
makes-
code that fixes
That makes
the
the
game.
xenomorph work.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Here's some cool stuff. The only reason I'm talking about this is because Journalism Not Guaranteed is not a big podcast. So me talking about this does not count as narking. Metroid Prime. What the fuck? Prime 2D, I believe is what it's called. Yes, Prime 2D has just released its first demo. I just heard about this, but apparently it's been in development since fucking 2004. It essentially sounds exactly. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's Metroid Prime, but in 2D style. I was thinking about playing this. But yeah, I've been kind of busy this week. I had to play my PS5 and all that jazz. Looking at footage, like this shit looks insane. And the fact,
Better play it and download it before Nintendo nukes it from orbit.
so here's the thing: is that like everyone's gonna be like, Lamau, Nintendo's going to kill this. Why are you guys talking about this? They are not. There's no way they're finishing this. Like I highly doubt that the same team or most of the same team that was involved with this project since 2004 is even working on this right now. I think that this demo is just sort of a way to kind of what are you laughing at?
I was something later in the news. Don't worry about it.
Okay, it's just sort of a way to pad out the like the resumes in a way, get some eyes on the people involved in the project. Not to say that that's like necessarily a bad thing, but it's like it's probably, I can't imagine this going much further than it already has, and the fact, but which is fine because it's like this is a really cool proof of concept in general. Like the stuff that the fact that they managed to get the scan visor like working and not make it look like terrible is pretty crazy in and of itself. And the visors are such a important part to what makes Metroid Prime. So yeah, that's cool. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm like looking at it now. I don't know anything about Metroid Prime, but yeah, this is super cool that people are working on this. I hope they do finish it. I remain optimistic.
It'll get sniped by Nintendo.
But also,
now
it'll
that
get
it's even
sniped by
out there.
Nintendo. We're going to have to call it something else, like PM2D, PMP, Project MP.
Meadroid 2D.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You got anything for us, Tabby?
Yeah, I've got a couple things.
Do you want to talk about the fighting game stuff?
You want me to just break all that down? I want to talk about Balan Wonderworld. Hey, I said it right. Yes, we do. I thought I called it Wonderland, but no, I said it right. So Balan Wonderland. God damn it.
You did that on purpose. Shut up.
I didn't. I swear.
It's just the problem is that his name's fucking Balan. So like you want to say Balan Wonderland?
Yeah, that's why.
Fuck you, Yuji Naka, you son of a bitch.
Well,
I'm
Yuji
kidding.
Naka might not be making any more video games because it debuted at under 2,100 copies in Japan.
That's a small amount.
I can't think of a video game that sold that low before in a while. Like
Sticky Balls for the Gizmondo, I believe, sold 20,000 total in its lifetime.
20,000
for the Gizmondo. So. This is for the Nintendo Switch. It is also, I believe, the 4th worst reviewed Switch game of all time. Yes, it is only beating out Ultra Off-Road 2019 Alaska, Bounty Battle, which I didn't even realize that game out. I played that game at EVO like 4 years ago and it was bad, so I'm surprised. I have a poster from it. And Vroom in the Night Sky, which I think
Vroom in the Night Sky is legendary.
Is that like a Nights game?
No, it's it's like a 2D shmup where you play as a witch girl. But it came out very early. Yeah, you're like, oh, sounds cool. It came out very early on the Switch, like I think like the first month or so, and it's like look up footage of it sometime. It's fucking terrible.
It's got a 17 on Metacritic.
17?
Yeah, it's like a Tuhu kind of.
That's fucking rough. Yeah, shout outs to Jeff Gerstmann on Twitter for saying Battleland Wonderworld has near lethal levels of your friend imported this PS2 game for like $110 and is going to convince themselves that it's the best game they've ever played, and you're never going to stop dunking on them for buying it energy.
This very specific. I wonder what game Jeff Gerstmann had come into contact beforehand.
I don't know.
Made him feel that way.
Just to put it into a little bit of perspective, because this game was like being pushed by Nintendo pretty hard.
It's being pushed in general.
It's being
like
pushed
Square
in general.
Enix showed it a lot.
Monster Hunter Rise debuted at like 3 million copies in opening weekend.
Like, one thing you can't put against, you cannot blame Square Enix for this game failing. They tried their fucking hardest to shill this game.
You can blame Yuji Naka for it. It's 100%. Like, it is just a bad video game that also causes epileptic seizures.
Yeah, they patched those out, but yeah. Fucking, well, that's... when I found out that the developers of this game, Square Enix is publishing it, but Yuji Naka got Arzest to publish it. Creators of such legendary games like Yoshi's New Island and Hey Pikmin. I knew this game was fucking doomed.
What are either of those games?
What is Hey Pikmin?
It was the 2D Pikmin 3DS game. You never heard of it?
No.
Yeah, it came out in like 2016. It wasn't good. The and Arzest, which I believe used to be Artoon, but they just like changed companies. They fucking have been in charge of like the Yoshi series for years. They're the bane of my existence.
Did they make Yoshi's Cookie?
No, they didn't make Yoshi's Cookie. They made Yoshi's Island DS, and they made Yoshi's New Island, both aggressively mediocre Yoshi games. And when Yoshi's Island, imagine you're me, a guy whose favorite video game like ever is fucking Yoshi's Island, and has to deal with the rest of the series being aggressively mid ever since. The new ones by Good Feel are good though.
It's okay. I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. I get it. Every game has been aggressively mid since 2002.
Yeah, but none of the Kingdom Hearts games were as good as Yoshi's Island.
What about Dream Drop Distance?
So no, what news you got?
News? Did we do that? Platinum put out a trailer. It was a game called World of Demons. And as I'm watching the trailer, I'm like, wow, this is looking pretty good. This is cool. This art style is very fresh. I enjoy this a lot. And then as I'm watching the trailer, it pans out to show the game on a phone screen, and then it says Apple Arcade. The future,
shit, man.
The future is in phone gaming. I'm sorry, it just is.
The future isn't waiting for phone games to get ported. I mean, shit. First Fantasia, now World of Demons.
Apple Arcade's
kind of sick though. It's got more games than the PS5.
I'm like at the point where I'm just like, do I buy an iPhone to play video games?
No.
Is that the new console?
May surprise you.
You'll never get me alive.
But no, this game looks really cool. If there are any fucking Apple gamers out there, I guess this is for you.
Swell. Yeah, I saw some footage of it. It looks pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of Okami.
Yeah, no, it's got like a very like painterly like art style, very like thick lines, very like Japanese, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to playing this whenever it gets ported. What's up, Tabby?
Do you think it runs better on mobile than like any of the Switch ports of Platinum games do?
Have you ever played Bayonetta on the Switch?
No.
Get owned, first of all. Second of all, those games run fine on the Switch.
I played
So I
Bayonetta
would
once,
assume-
and I said this game's not good, and I put it down.
Yep. Anyway.
Hot take, Tabby.
But it ran good, right? You played it and it was like, it runs good, but it's not a good game for some reason. All right, fuck it. What? Don't answer that. I want to talk about Castlevania Resurrection because this is cool news.
Yes.
So on the 5th of April, some guy managed to procure an alpha or like prototype of this Sega Dreamcast game that was unreleased called Castlevania Resurrection. I don't really know too much about about this game's like history or anything. I believe you were supposed to play. It was supposed to you're supposed to be able to play as Sonia Belmont, who was I believe she was in Castlevania Legends 3, which is like the Game Boy one. And then there was like supposed to be a new guy who was also involved. It was one of the 3D kind of Castlevania games that were around at the time, like the Castlevania 64. It was gonna sort of play like that, so it wasn't like a side scroller game. But it was canceled, and now we have some sort of build of it floating around, which is cool.
Kind of.
And it's currently on auction.
Is it?
Did you? So actually, yeah, I can jump into that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Pandemonium Games makes
Friend of the show,
makes cool videos. Go watch him. I think
he reviews every Sega Saturn game. He's like the cousin to Repstugog, or I guess Repstugog's the cousin to him because he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he's been doing it much longer than me.
We love your stuff.
Yes. Come on the
so
podcast.
he wrote an article about this all on Sega Saturn Shiro, because this is
a podcast network.
Are they a podcast network?
Yeah,
Okay.
they are.
I don't know much about it, but that's
Let me on the
besides the
show.
point. Look at you have the photo of you holding the Sega Saturn photo. It's like you were meant for it.
It's all my cred. That's all I need.
Yeah, a video was uploaded like April 4th, right after we recorded last week's, a little after whatever. And then everybody was like, hey, dump this game so we can have it and that people can see it and figure out like what it all was. And he's like, okay, put it on eBay. So he had put it on eBay at $1 because he's like, I don't know what this is worth. I hope it goes to a collector who likes Castlevania as much as me, knowing that he had big money on his hands potentially. It reached over 20K on the eBay biddings for it.
Yeah.
Which is most likely in those cases not places like a video game history museum or any archivist backing up. That is going to a private collector who's going to keep it in a lockbox.
Yeah.
Which is very sad because it's generally it's not even on a cartridge. It's on a disc. Disc rot is like a very serious thing that cartridges when they die they can still theoretically be fixed, but not something like this.
Especially
like
with older CD-based games.
Yes, especially with the GDRs. So he then yesterday said he took it down and he's going to put it back up, but he said after dumping it.
Okay, good. I knew he was
there. Yeah, because I was going to say I was looking at this listing and it's like this isn't available anymore. Also has 0 bits, and I'm like, okay, well that means that it's not there anymore. So like they didn't actually sell it.
He took it. He took it down. We haven't heard anything today, as far as I'm aware, about it. So hopefully, actually, as of today, it was taken down today. So he put up yesterday saying, "Yes, I'm going to take it down, and then we're gonna dump it and put it somewhere." But but we haven't seen a dump of it yet. So there could also theoretically be a private transaction happening in the background of like large sums of money or crypto or something for it. So we'll just have to see when that comes.
Yeah, maybe one of the avid Dreamcasters on this podcast could play the dump if it comes out and see what's good.
Yeah, I mean, my GDMU is all set up, so if the dump comes, I'll play it.
Yep.
Or at least mess with it for the bit that I know of Castlevania.
That's super cool. And they're just like, it kind of fills me, like when I see stuff like this, it kind of fills me with like a childlike glee, just like thinking about like all of the like things, the wonders that are locked away in the offices of these like old game companies and whatnot.
Somewhere in Microsoft's headquarters, there is a playable vertical slice of Scalebound.
Don't say that.
I'm just saying there Scalebound is hidden in Bill Gates's computer maze somewhere.
It's true. We need the Phantom Thieves to go get it.
Shut up. I'm gonna
steal.
I'm gonna beat you up.
They're gonna steal Bill Gates'
nerd.
heart, dude.
And then he's gonna release Scalebound, I guess.
No, not to make the coronavirus vaccine open source like the people originally wanting to, but he made them.
Make Scalebound open source.
Phantom Thieves have done it again.
All right,
guys,
Noel,
I'm not a Persona fan. I promise.
Noel, you have any news?
I am.
I got stuff. I don't have a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna talk about Twitch because I like Twitch. They're all right. They kind of came out with some new rules today, saying that they're going to like police things that are happening off-site, like with people, because like a lot of the people who are streaming on that website are like partnered with Twitch in some form or another. They have some sort of contract, so they represent them in some way. And it looks like out of like the big ones, it's like if you are doing things off Twitch and also like representing Twitch by streaming on Twitch, such as deadly violence, violence extremism, terrorism, threats of mass violence that are like explicit and not a joke, leadership or membership in a known hate group, carrying out or acting as accomplice to non-sexual or non-consensual sexual activities or sexual assault, sexual exploitation of children, such as child grooming and solicitation of underage sexual materials. This is all stuff that like should have been there, and should have been in their policy, but it's good that they're like doing that now. I think it's been a long time coming for this.
It's something that they've been partially enforcing without it being in there. Like when the Smash and FGC child scandal happened. About that.
Yeah.
Last year, a lot of people were getting their Twitch accounts banned.
It's fine.
Stuff like that.
And some weren't.
Some weren't, but what I'm saying is they were, to at least some people, enforcing something similar to this. I think this is now just more of a blanket statement so that anything that comes up in the future, they have a legitimate reason to do it.
My issue with this, I mean, it's not an issue with this. This is good. I like this being a thing. But the thing is Twitch is notoriously, like, not enforced its own rules, like, a lot. Like, in the past, the precedent is there for them to just, like, make rules and just not enforce them at all. And they've also like had a lot of just like, straight up just like white nationalists just chilling and streaming on their website. Just,
they're the biggest streaming platform on the planet. They have a lot of terrible people on there.
Yeah.
Like that's just what's going to happen. Like there's a lot of awful hate speech on YouTube.
Well, I mean, we talked about it before when they released the other stats where it's like a very large amount of like reports for like terroristic threats and like extremism or just like completely like hands off with it.
Yeah.
But didn't you say that those reports were better than average?
Maybe? I don't know. You expect me to remember like stats that I said 4 weeks ago?
Shit, you remember?
I barely remember what we talked about last week.
You remember bad thing about we talked about the racism scale thing. that Intel made, and then everyone started popping off about it like yesterday.
Legitimately,
I was actually kind of mad.
I
was like, no, fuck you. We already knew about this. What are you guys talking about? No, you're not funny. We already made those jokes. Stop. No.
legitimately, I couldn't remember if that podcast had come out yet or not.
Yeah, it had.
I have bad memory brain worms.
Yeah, no, it's very funny. That's the woes of being a podcast that gets average like 75 views on an episode.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
That's pretty good. But yeah, no, that's what I got. I don't have a lot more news, so I'm gonna let you two kind of riff for a little bit.
Yeah. I'll just sort of. You want me to chunk down all the fighting game news now?
Chunk it.
It's tabby time.
It's tabby time. There's not a lot of news in regards to the fighting game world, but there is a good amount of it. So
how is there always fighting game news?
Because
there are
fighting
too many
games
fighting
are
games.
Cool. Yeah, we need to stop that.
So, Virtua Fighter 5 got leaked onto some foreign ESRB equivalent. I don't remember which one.
Remastered, right? Because they were already on to 5.
Yeah, so it's going to be a port of the PS3 version of Virtua Fighter 5, which currently the only way to play Virtua Fighter 5 on modern systems is by playing Yakuza 6.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
And playing it in the arcades.
Does it have GGPO, though?
We don't know. They assumedly.
I was talking about in Yakuza.
No.
Could you imagine if like the Yakuza version of Virtua Fighter had like functioning online and everything, and people just bringing their copies of Yakuza to Evo?
Because there was this whole Virtua Fighter esports push like 6 or 8 months ago that just went nowhere. Like it had a trailer and then nothing. But if instead of making Virtua Fighter 6, they put those resources into Virtua Fighter 5 with rollback. Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's run it.
Isn't the project literally called like Virtua Fighter Esports?
It is called Virtua Fighter Esports, yes.
I remember hearing about this. That was pretty funny.
So that's all that. Street Fighter 5 had their spring showcase a couple days ago. Unfortunately, nothing as cool as it's a banger, a Hadouken banger was said this time. Thanks Steve Aoki from the winter update.
Justin Wang was on the
shut up
Street Fighter podcast.
So they showed off Oro.
Justin Wang's never coming on the podcast now.
Nope. They showed off Oro and Rose. Rose had a full in-depth breakdown. Oro only had minor stuff because he's still in development, but should be released soonish, probably in the next quarter. Seems neat. I don't really like Street Fighter 5. I don't like the systems behind it, so I will look at it from afar. But they also teased gameplay footage of Akira, the Project Justice character, Rival Schools character, that's being added into the game. And she looks very cool and is doing big aerial combos and is exciting. This version of Street Fighter V is definitely more interesting to play than previous versions, but it's still got its core problems that I just don't like. It's neat. It's cool. I'll look at it when it comes out. No word on the final DLC character yet. We still don't know who it is. Everybody's still guessing, it's going to be a KOF character. But we'll see. And then
if it is a King of Fighters character, I could see them announcing it whenever they're done announcing King of Fighters characters. Maybe like do like a joint thing. Like here's this character in King of Fighters, and now they are also in I almost said Smash. They're all now they are also in Street Fighter. Something like that.
I imagine because we're gonna get roughly 20 more weeks of trailers for the King of Fighters, because it's gonna be about 30 fighters on launch, and then it'll come out. Oh yeah, there was a Mai trailer. I don't like Mai, so whatever. She looks fine.
Fuck you, Mai's hot as hell.
Yeah, it literally does nothing for me.
I've seen that sprite, man.
I abstain.
Coward.
And I don't mean don't get me wrong. She's got some enormous melons. Some
Team Mai. Team whatever the other one is.
However,
I know you like the one who has the one whose eyes are covered by their hair.
Oh, Shermie?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shermie be balling right now. They're making some KOF basketball game. That's like the most minor thing, but Shermie's in it, and it's really funny. But there's a KOF basketball character that I'm blanking on his name right now. That needs to be in there.
Sean.
Not Sean. But the big news.
Sean Marion.
The big news of the week for fighting games is the Guilty Gear Strive, what was supposed to be the release developer backlog, but it's now the backlog before the release.
Backyard, I believe.
Oh, it is Backyard. My apologies.
Yeah, get the lore right, please. Thank you.
So it's they're just putting out data from the survey that people did after the open beta. My opinion on it all, I can't remember if I've said this or not. Guilty Gear Strive's fun. They need to fix the bad lobby system. That's pretty much the biggest thing. There's more details I can go into, but I don't want to. And other people have said it better than I can. So they just went off to people saying which character they liked the most and which character did you use the most. On the entire list, it is Ramlethal, Soul, Kai, Giovanna, and Nagoriyuki in every single spot, in every single region, except for in South America. 5th place was Milia, and in Oceania, 5th place was Potemkin.
So everyone likes Ramlethal.
Everyone likes Ramlethal. She is the number one character in 8 out of the 10 categories.
It's because she has that. It's because she has that animation where the dog, where the puppy knocks her down.
It's because she doesn't wear shoes, Tech.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's probably it.
So what? It's a lot of things. One, she's hornily animated. She's got thigh jiggle in animations.
I saw that. I was quite impressed.
I bet you did. And
shut up! I fucking
rendered in 4K.
Teach me to watch your streams. Why don't you?
2, she's a waifu character, so people are just automatically gonna like her. Like
every girl in a fighting game, every girl in a video game
is.
So
yeah.
The Valentine like family are like specifically like engineered to be waifus, though.
Yes. See, Elfelt Valentine. That's the bride with the big old bazonkers.
What's how do you spell that?
Elfelt Valentine.
ELPHELT.
Okay, Elfelt Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
I don't like this one.
Cringe. So,
sorry.
The reason I think that everybody was like, oh, what character do you like the most? Ramlethal was very easy to pilot and very good in this beta. Like, it is a character that I am going to be frustrated playing against for the rest of my life, just how good that entire character's kit seemed to be for that game.
Oh, Jacko is a Valentine, Tech.
Yes.
I think I know what Jacko looks like.
Disclaimer, Leo player, so take that with however much you want. What
do you think
I'll
about...
go over...
What do you think about...
I like Jacko.
Yeah,
Jacko's cool.
Jacko's cute. What do you think about the fact that Leo is a grappler?
I mean, he's not. He has a command grab, but it's like...
I just saw a video on YouTube made by someone. They're like, Leo is a grappler?
There's...
Any character in a fighting game I see that just like grabs it all, I'm just like, oh, that's the grappler. That's the grappler character.
Moopoke uploaded a video of him doing... Yeah. Shoutouts to Moopoke. But... Yeah, he made a video. He's got a command grab, but he's still more of like a aggressive rushdown character with good Oki. But on the rest of this... Aoki? On the rest of this, they basically went down what people's opinions were on various modes. Pretty much, it's the general consensus versus mode, network mode, quick match, and training mode. All was like, yes, this is good. The lobby was like most of the responses were very bad. They said you need to fix this, and they did, or they said that we're going to with these changes. And then people said tutorial mode was good. It's not. It's a very, like, sandboxy tutorial. If it leads to mission mode later in the future, I think that'll be good. But as it is right now, I had to go ask somebody in my local Discord to be like, how do I do quick RCs? Like, what am I actually supposed to do to get this?
Guilty Gear, is Strive, were they the ones who were saying that, like, they're afraid that if they make their training mode too good, it'll alienate new players?
Yeah, I'm all right. So,
yeah, I was waiting for you to get to the juicy shit because I know there was something fucking stupid they said about the beta.
Yes. So, where's the exact line? Yes. So, Our intent for the tutorial mode in Guilty Gear Super Turbo Strive is to show the players. I legitimately read GGST as Guilty Gear Super Turbo. I'm just sorry in advance. Is to show the players that they can enjoy fighting games without having to study. Which is like, okay, I get that. And I think that's something that needs to get across more people's heads, that you don't need to spend 30 hours in training mode before hopping into online. You can kind of just like press your buttons, figure out what they do, and play.
I don't believe you.
There's many a video that say that and that have legitimate reasons, or I can just regurgitate that information to you.
Okay, I believe you.
All right. So
my Tommy gun don't.
So then the next sentence is the kicker. We intentionally left out explanations of game mechanics and the different uses for each attack button.
Fucking beautiful. That's awesome.
And they go and they say, oh, this was successful because people
we were only pretending.
Well, they say because people on the first floors, mind you, 10th floor was the top one, was the lowest. We're not using every attack or every system or every special move or every system mechanic in the game. And it's like, yeah, because your tutorial didn't tell them that there were special moves in the game. The tutorials literally walk forward, walk backwards, jump, press your buttons. It doesn't tell you that you can do quarter circle forward punch on the Soul Bad Guy to get Gunflame.
I mean, like, this is literally just like the better option to this, if you actually have this concern as like ArcSys, like, is to be like, okay, you can choose from basic tutorial and advanced tutorial. And if you click basic tutorial, you'll get the sandboxing mode. And if you click advanced tutorial, you'll get the actual explanations and the button combos. And
that's not even that. Like, what they did is fine if they give a big pop-up at the end of you completed this tutorial. Now that you've done this, if you want to learn more about the game, go to mission mode where we actually explain the game mechanics. That's fine, because where mission mode would be the real tutorial. But if this is the only like bit of training information you're going to give to new players, they're not going to enjoy it, because they're just going to get clowned on people like me, someone who's bad at fighting games, who understands I can press 236S on Leo and I get a big damage after a button. It's just very frustrating that they went so backwards on this after the Guilty Gear Exer tutorial being very good and the mission mode being very good, as well as publishing Under Night In-Birth, which has one of the best tutorial modes in any fighting game. And it's what it's praised for constantly. Give rollback, please. I beg you. That makes that game playable. So
Melty's going to get rollback?
Melty already has rollback. Because you can
Melty 2 is going to get rollback.
That too.
Melty 2? That's what I meant to say.
So the changes that they're making to the lobby system are changing to a system where players select a visible area where they want to have a match. If you watch any beta footage, this is a big problem because people are teleporting all over the screen trying to just match with their friends to play in an open lobby. Then also they're adding, after winning a match, the player stays where they are in a battle-ready state, which is great, so you don't have to ready up, because if you ready up, it would sometimes move you across the screen. It was really annoying. Just literally go watch any footage. They're adding instant rematch into it, which wasn't in there, which was insane. And you need that in a fighting game, because if I just want to only play Null in a set forever, I need to have instant rematch. And then they've expanded the area in each lobby, adding the option to hide the news tab, which literally took up a third of the screen and like made it really bad. They just sort of fixing up all the issues that people had. We're still getting the April Fool's pixel lobbies that everybody doesn't really like, but they're at least being better.
No, we will not get rid of these. Fuck you.
It's taken 5 developer surveys to get to that point. It's insane.
We don't like it. How about now? 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 We don't like it. Too fucking bad.
See, this is the problem with like taking player feedback. You just, all you have to do is just release your game and not care, right? And then move on to the next one.
I'd respect that.
I respect them being very transparent, though. I like that, especially from a fighting game dev, like being able to...
Transparency, overrated.
Yeah, but transparency also gets like weird nerds on Twitter to like at you and be like, "What? You ruined my life, ArcSys. What the fuck?"
Yeah, but I'm a weird nerd.
To be fair, Arxis did ruin my life.
Is there any other fighting game
You
news?
ruin my life every week.
Yeah, I'll go over everything else really, really quickly. Background music, we saw this teased in the trailer, but they confirmed it. They are going to have music from other Guilty Gear games inside this that you can play as background music. So if you're one of the people, which there's a good amount who don't like all the vocal tracks and all the music in Strive, you can keep playing your Double X music. So don't worry about that.
I hope they put the LA vocals on it.
I hope they put the Korean OST on it. That's all I want. The Korean OST is the best Guilty Gear music, and it's literally only available via YouTube now. They went over 4 things, the 4 biggest complaints people had about the beta. Damage is too high. They said, we're going to reduce it a bit, but high damage is part of Guilty Gear, of Strive's ideology and what our design is for the game, so it'll still be high.
Be Sam show now.
Which is whatever,
Okay.
but...
I mean, it's fine. I don't actually mind it as much as other people seem to.
Once you got used to it, it was fine, but there was a bit of an issue originally getting into it. People liked the Roman cancel system, but they felt limited by meter use because there was no 25 meter option in this game compared to YRCs or FRCs, yellow Roman cancels or fast Roman cancels. I think that's what FRC stands for. In Xrd and plus R respectively, or double X specifically.
Just manage your meter better.
Well, they actually said they're going to be increased. Well, it was like there was times I would play games that's like, oh, I didn't even get a chance to use a Roman cancel. So they're increasing meter gain on both sides.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is
actually pretty cool because that will make like gameplay more explosive, and I think explosive gameplay is like very good.
Especially with everything being tied to Roman cancels now. Like there's dead angle attack is a Roman cancel. Burst is the only thing that's not, but it's cool. It's interesting. I like it. Roman cancels are very strong in this game, so we'll see how it goes in a month, 2 months when it releases. Jumping is too strong. Yes, it was. You didn't have to spend meter to air block. It is very strong in this game to just jump anti-airs. You didn't get a lot of reward.
Sounds like the fighting game for me.
No, because you're just gonna if someone knows that they're just gonna keep jumping on you, and there's not much you can do about it.
Oh, but I jump.
Yes. So they said they're gonna make changes to that. People are guessing it's gonna be they're gonna make rewards for getting anti-air stronger, and then make some moves air unblockable. But we don't know. That's just what people are thinking. Get rid of the infinites. There are infinites in the beta. They were pretty easy to pull off. They said that they wanted to reduce the amount of loops you could do, but not take them out entirely. So we don't know what that means. We'll see from there.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't there that thing in Strive where if you like have someone cornered against the wall, it breaks, and then you go to a different area?
Yeah.
How do you do infinites with that?
It's because the infinites were side swapping you.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, like, this is very cool.
It's go look up the Soul Bad Guy Volcanic Viper. I don't remember what move it was. It wasn't Volcanic Viper. He does an infinite where it's literally hit button, special move, hit button, special move, hit button, special move. Last thing that I want to talk about, or last 2 things. They're doing a second open beta. Woo! We all expected that. Probably end of this month, beginning of next month. Rollback netcode worked great. They say it worked great. It was on 1 fixed frame. Shocking for how good those connections were with 1 fixed frame. 10 out of 10. Great job, Arxis. You did it. And that is all the fighting game news.
And that's the news.
No, we still got
fighting games, but
games.
Not the entire news.
We got
because we got to talk about Xbox. And you see, Xbox has been trying to. Microsoft has been trying to get into Japan for years now, and they've tried all sorts of different things. There's that one ad where
I didn't get to say this. I didn't get to say this last week, but Happy Easter, Xbox.
Oh, what are you referencing? What is that?
It's some celebrity is doing something, is like doing some promotional thing for Xbox, and there's a clip of him going, Happy Easter, Xbox.
I remember that now. Okay. I thought this was going to be more fucking fighting games, and I'm fucking blow my brains out.
It's Usher. It was Usher. That's who
Thanks,
it was.
Usher.
Thanks, Usher.
And Dance Central 3.
Okay. So Microsoft's been trying. First of all, happy Easter, Xbox. Second off, they've been trying to get into the Japanese market for fucking ever. They've tried all sorts of different stuff. Nothing seems to really work because who could say for sure? Well, no one really knows why. But they're trying a new strategy this time involving everyone's favorite new fad on YouTube, VTubers. So Microsoft has hired Shishiro Botan and Himemori Luna to advertise Xbox Game Pass in Japan.
I've heard one of those names before.
Okay.
I believe I've heard of Himemori Luna. I've never heard of Shishiro Botan.
I have to mention that they literally got like the worst girl. Like the little pink-haired shit with the crown is like one of the most obnoxious.
I think that's Botan.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's Himemori Luna. No,
Oh,
no,
is that?
No, she's the little like princess character, and I want to smash her teeth.
I want to like
Jeez,
I want to like
guys.
punt her like. No,
I'll
literally.
have to ask Nate what he thinks of these.
Shishiro Botan is one that people like, and apparently she's like really good at video games. Like that's her gimmick, is being good at video games. So
That's an interesting
She
gimmick.
seems like she's one of those like mommy VTubers. It looks like.
yeah, I don't want to talk about VTubers.
And Luna is
Yeah,
the opposite. Luna is like a tiny gremlin child demon that I want to kick.
I can. They're really trying to go for both markets here. They're really covering all their bases. But I guess Corona was too expensive. They should have gone with Corona.
Probably.
She's the one I like.
She is probably
name
too
any other
expensive
VTuber
though.
right now.
Gorgura.
Okay,
Gargura.
I don't like Gorgura though.
I like Gura. Also,
Peek me.
how are we calling VTubers new when gorillas were VTubers the whole time?
True.
I don't. You know what's funny is years ago, Funk, who is this TF2 YouTuber, he does just like general gaming stuff nowadays. Like years ago when he streamed, he would stream with the fucking VTuber.
Yeah.
This was and like Kizuna AI has been around for for years now. So I'm surprised it took this long for VTubers in general to kind of take off.
Yeah,
Tech,
you
just pulled a memory. I forgot about Funk.
Funk used to post on Face Punch. I knew about him before he was Funk.
that's interesting.
He was kind of a dickhead on the forums.
Man, come on the podcast,
and
Funk.
all of a sudden he makes it's like, wait a minute, you're Funk, dude? It's like, who the fuck is Funk? I look him up and I watch his videos, like, holy shit, this guy's funny. He got funny. What the hell?
Yeah, no, it's this gives me like Hatsune Miku promoting Domino's vibe, where it's just like weird.
It is weird.
Have you heard of pizza?
It's Domino's, man. I have. Yeah, just a fun little uplifting, heartwarming Xbox story. Do you want with a bit of a funny twist? Noel, do you want to talk about your funny, uplifting, heartwarming Xbox story with a bit of a funny twist?
So there was one of our, honestly, here at Journalism Not Guaranteed, we love brands. Honestly, more than anything.
We can't get enough of them. Yeah.
We really like following all the
Consume.
brand news on Twitter, and just the personalities that evolve from these brands are just our favorite thing. There was a competition that was going on. Who was running the competition, actually? Let me see. It doesn't matter.
Twitter marketing.
Sorry. Thank you. Twitter marketing. Twitter was running a competition between Skittles and Xbox.
It was like the bracket met.
Oh,
to
okay.
them.
Is that how it was?
This is like literally the cringiest fucking thing ever. Twitter was doing like a tournament bracket of like, who are the most epicest brands on Twitter, and it's like, please, can I just like ignore this? And I did until now. I can't ignore it anymore.
Until it's on the podcast now, and we're talking about
Now
it.
it's gaming news.
So they started doing this thing, and I guess this is like the finals, right? Yeah, the final. And both both Skittles and Xbox had made promises to like if they win they'll do this thing, and it's like Skittles were like, we'll release the lime green flavor of Skittle, which is weird, but and then the Xbox is like,
No.
we'll release a an Xbox branded mini fridge.
Because the Xbox Series X, it looks like a fridge. Get it?
Yeah. So Xbox won this bracket by 1%, and they have confirmed that they are going to be making them. They're sending them to the people at Skittles, and I don't know what else. But
wait, so they're not even like mass producing them? They're just getting sent to the fucking Skittles marketing department?
I think they're sending the first run to the Skittles marketing department. I'm sure that they will release a certain amount of them, but I don't expect them to like, blow up on the mini fridge scene, and like produce them forever.
Well, first of all, I gotta say that this is just an objective loss for society in general, because we've been starved of the lime Skittle flavor for over a decade now.
That's bullshit.
And most people are not going to have mini fridges in general, let alone Xbox Series X fridges. How many people go into a convenience store and just pick up a bag of Skittles? Exactly. It's terrible all around. Oh, fuck, I had something else I wanted to say about this, but now I can't really remember it. So, fuck it, whatever.
This is, like, very funny. I really hate brand shit. Like, the immediate comment under this is Xbox verified tweeting, Skittles were never foes, but are now lifelong friends. And I'm like, I just literally want to strangle someone.
Yeah. It was getting a little old seeing the spider shooting the laser saying silence brand under every single brand tweet. But you know what? I think it's time we resurrect the fucking crab. We have to bring him back.
Silence, parent.
Yes.
I'm playing the bouncer.
Very good. Tech will post that picture in the show notes.
Fuck! I will. Yeah, I'll do it.
I hate brand shit, but it would be kind of funny to own a Microsoft Xbox branded mini fridge.
Yeah, you could store. I remember what I was gonna say. You could store all of your Xbox 3-in-1 body wash, shampoo, conditioner. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Have any of you ever used one of those 3-in-1s? I have, and I'm not proud.
I don't know.
Yeah, I used to because it was cheap.
I just never. I just felt like I was buying like less. Like I was making it so I had to go to the store more because I was buying like one bottle instead of like two bottles.
It really is kind of a scam.
Yeah, it's like buying like 2-in-1 antifreeze instead of like mixing it with water yourself and getting like double the amount.
Speaking of scams.
Speaking of antifreeze.
This isn't on the news docket, but I just saw this posted a couple minutes ago, and I think it's very funny. So how familiar are you guys with Dragon Quest 3 speedrunning?
I heard about this. I'm familiar.
Do they have to like sweat onto the disc?
No, they use a hot plate on the Famicom to heat it up. So the cartridge needs to be a certain temperature level because it causes a glitch for you to start the game at level 99.
This is so fucking stupid.
It gets worse.
It gets better.
The
duality of man.
So the run used to be 22 minutes and 22 seconds. Then it was reduced down to like 9 minutes, I think, with this new glitch. Something like that. But a runner by the name of Hitchi, Japanese runner, found out that after playing the first minute and 40 seconds after doing the hot plate glitch, you save and then you swap the cartridges to Dr. Mario, and then once you get to the main menu screen, switch it out for Kirby, and then immediately back to Dr. Mario. Once you're back in Dr. Mario, it requires going to the 2-player mode, selecting the 1-player virus level at 20 and the 2-player at 0, then press right 15 times on the player 2 speed option. Then you go back to Dragon Quest III. If done correctly, you should start with the Gadabout class with 20 MP in the first character slot and a mage with paralysis stat in the second slot. So the world record, you do some more stuff basically to manipulate like code or
this
what
is
I forget
like
the exact term is.
This is like beyond like glitches in game. Like this is like when you're involving like hardware shit to the point where you're like destroying your physical discs and shit and your cartridges. It's just like, is this like even like what I would consider like a fair like speed run?
So that's the thing is like there's already a precedent for this within a minor set of the speedrunning community with GoldenEye, because there was a glitch that like made you, I don't remember the full details of it, but you completed one of the harder levels faster by having a second controller plugged in and then shorting out the circuit board on it.
What do you got to say, Tech?
What else is there? There's nothing else to say. There's really nothing else to say. The speedrunners are fucking psychos who somehow figure out how to do this shit because they I don't know. What it's almost as passe to say that like how they come up with this, but like how the fuck they come up with this? How do you know to do this?
It's probably because like within an emulator debug, you could see like, oh, these parts are the same. Can we manipulate this somehow?
Can they like cure cancer yet? Can they just like figure out like, yeah, if you actually if you hot swap your cartridge if you hot swap Ocarina of Time with Pilot Wings and then Star Fox and then Battle Tanks, then you actually discover the human genome and it can cure cancer.
I just
speedrunner BLJs to cure cancer.
My only thing that I have to say about this is that I don't like there's only a finite amount of these carts in existence, and I don't like speedrunners buying them and destroying them for clout.
At least it's a Japanese copy of Dragon Quest III
What's that supposed to mean?
Is that there's a lot more of them than there's English copies.
Yeah, but that's true now. Okay, what about in 10 years?
Well, after the hot plate incident of 2024, we'll find out.
It's the same. I feel the same way about like cartridge tilting. You know what I mean? It's like
you get a little tilted.
What about cosmic rays?
What's that?
That's the there was this one Mario 64 speedrun where he like teleports up a wall and nobody can figure out why it happened.
Yeah,
and
that's
the only sure.
Yeah, like a $1,000 bounty to figure.
I think he still does.
Yeah, because you can't replicate it.
The only way people have said is that it was literal cosmic rays from space that altered the game somehow.
Somehow that didn't make it onto the Mario 64 iceberg.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's cool, I guess.
It's neat.
It's
all right. I'm gonna go into the tectonic horror corner, or just the journalism not guaranteed horror corner, because we're gonna after I say my news, we're gonna spin off into Tabby's news that is horror
some terrifying news.
Yeah, get your shit and pants on, everyone, because Deadly Premonition 2 is coming to PC. Yeah! Deadly Premonition, lol. Anyone who's played Deadly Premonition 2 is gonna lol right now. After I said that.
Don't you actually like this game?
Okay, so I have a complicated relationship with Deadly Premonition 2. I was thinking about how I was gonna say this on the podcast today. Actually, this is the news I thought about the most. I don't hate it, but however, it is like at least not. It's not even half as good as the first one. It is pretty bad. I'm gonna say it's kind of a bad game. It basically, like, little mini review. It doesn't have nearly as many like endearing characters as the first game. There's also just less of them. The plot just sort of happens, and also it feels incredibly rushed, like near the end or so. The ending itself, I think, is fine. The ending, most of the ending is fine. Like where the characters end up, I like, just as in like it doesn't ruin anything. But a lot of a lot of the story stuff is like really strange. I don't know why they did it, and the gameplay itself. So the gameplay itself, like not everyone, but a lot of people know that like the combat and Deadly Premonition was kind of added in at the request of the publisher. So like the game originally wasn't gonna have combat. So as a result, we have mid Resident Evil 4 style combat in the first game. So you'd think that, like, oh, it's a sequel, so Suiri doesn't have to put combat in it anymore because he's got the clout. Well, they fucking put combat in, and it's worse. The combat is worse in the second game because instead of having a suite of weapons that York can use, he has one gun. Admittedly a pretty cool gun. It's called the Psycho Gun, and it's literally a. I'm not joking. It's a finger gun, like so, that is like turned into like trees and branches when he goes into like the Vortex world or whatever.
That's fucking awesome.
It's fucking cool as shit. The problem is that it feels like shit.
The problem is that it's in Deadly Premonition too.
The problem is that it's in Deadly Premonition. They need to make a figure of York with the Psycho Gun. I need it. I need it so bad.
So, Tech, everything you're describing about Deadly Premonition 2, the only thing I know is it runs poorly on Switch.
Yeah, it runs pretty bad.
That's all I know about it.
Not as bad as it launched, but still pretty bad.
You know how everybody compares Deadly Premonition to Twin Peaks?
It's like Twin Peaks Season 2, Part 2, yeah.
No, it's like Twin Peaks Season 3.
No, it's not. No, it's not like... Are you like the one person who thinks Season 3 is bad?
Is that not the common consensus?
Is this the part of the show where we talk about Twin Peaks for 30 minutes, or can we move on?
No. We'll have the Twin Peaks spoiler cast later.
Tabby, everyone loves Season 3 of Twin Peaks because it's fucking magnificent. It's so good.
I thought everybody hated it.
It's nothing like Season 3. First of all, like, it's nothing like Season 3 in, like, any way. Also... Fuck, me and my sister watched it every fucking week when it aired. Oh god, I would pay good money to see the look on her face after seeing the finale again. I just need to see it one more time.
I'll be rewatching Season 3 soon, so maybe I was just dumb and stupid, but
rewatch it without the when are we gonna get to the fireworks factory feeling, and I think you'll appreciate it a lot more. That's all I'll say about it. Deadly Premonition 2 coming to PC. Wait for a sale if you really, really want to know where York ends up.
Bro, can you imagine Deadly Premonition with mods, dude?
I feel like mods definitely could help out that game, just like in any way. So someone's like, yeah, I patched it so that it runs at 30.
The guy who, I don't remember his name, but the guy who made DS Fix for Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition.
Durante?
Yeah, sure.
I think.
Also made a patch for Deadly Premonition on PC,
and it still doesn't really work.
No, it's because cutscenes are force locked at 30, but the gameplay runs at 60 fine.
No, I just mean the port itself is still crashes a lot.
That's true, yes.
But he did the best he can. Yeah. All right. So Tabby, tell us about your horror news.
All right. So the scariest thing of all, rumors. So the No Context Silent Hill Twitter account said, they have like 75k followers.
Did they just post that picture of fucking who's the guy from the first game? Harry Mason looking at, like, it's a doghouse, appears to be empty, and then the dog is like right behind him about to tackle him.
Yes.
I fucking love that picture. Anyway, continue.
So they said that someone sent them evidence of a possible Silent Hill game being developed for PS5. Which there was some news, and I even like thought about adding this in, but I didn't think it was that important. There's been stuff
about this for a while now.
Yeah, it's this game called Abandoned. It's they call it a cinematic survival simulator. It's very spooky and very like horror-esque.
Spooky.
It's spooky in the same way that Alone in the Dark, I think, is the name of that game, the like Canadian wilderness survival game.
The Long Dark.
The Long Dark, yes.
Alone in the Dark is the one that Null likes.
Yeah.
Null, you're muted.
No, I'm not muted. I was just mouthing the phrase.
Oh, okay. Well, why you're supposed to say it? It's funny.
It's okay. We can get more stone later.
So
is it called
the
Abandoned because they're going to abandon the project and make a Silent Hill pachinko machine?
No, it's coming out allegedly. It's made by a company called Blue Box Game Studios, directed by Hassan Karaman. I'm sorry about butchering your name. I'm awful with name pronunciations, if you haven't been able to tell from the past 90 episodes of this podcast. Basically, people were like, oh, it's, the logo looks like Sony Japan or like Sony like Studios, and the guy's name, HK Hideo Kojima, his LinkedIn profile was made the day before this thing came out. Huh. What do you mean they've had a Twitter account for this game for 6 years?
So you're thinking this is like another Moby Dick Games? Or whatever PT was?
Yeah. But
I'm gonna say no, because I don't think Kojima can. I don't think he can pull that stunt 3 fucking times.
Well,
he has to think of something new.
You'd be right, because on their website, which before this only had a "will be right back." In the meantime, email us if you have questions. Said. Our response to Hideo Kojima rumors. We have no association with Hideo Kojima, nor claim to have any association, nor was it our intention to claim such a statement. We're just making a game, is basically what it says. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know this game existed really until this, and now I'm going to go look at it, so this helps them at least.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a very big stretch. I don't even like no context Silent Hill being the person who is kind of like reporting this is kind of funny though. It's like some random like fucking gimmick account. It's just like, so I have this like scoop that was sent to me. Granted, he was also posting it in such a way. He was like, this is like, take this with a huge grain of salt. This is just something that was sent to me.
In the initial thread, he even says, like, I don't even believe in this. Yeah. But whatever.
I just can't wait for when a certain Twitter account announces Austin Powers 4.
Your Twitter account?
What? No, not mine. It's not my Twitter account. I don't know what you're fucking talking about. Tell me about your other news. Tell me about your other news. The
Tectonic Improv Twitter account. That's all I was referencing.
It's not mine. The Tectonic Improv's not my account. What are you talking about? Tell us about your other news, Daffy.
So the other somewhat spooky news is, I was actually going to talk about this last week, but then looking into it, it didn't seem real. So I was like, okay, I'm just not going to talk about it.
You didn't?
Did I talk about this?
Yeah, we definitely did.
I think you did.
You definitely did.
You told me it was real too.
Well, no, I looked at it and then I thought it wasn't real. Whatever. Dusk 82 is being actually made by New Blood. It's a demake, a la early PC games.
Looks like Rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dusk 82 is real. Dancing Crab. Anything else?
Crabs are only supposed to dance when something dies, not when something lives.
Yeah.
This okay, like reverse dancing crab video. Like you just like play in reverse and something's living now.
It's neat. It looks cool. I put it in there because I thought something, but apparently I can't remember anything. How normal. So yeah, that's all I had on my horror segment.
Okay. I'm gonna jump back to me again because I want to talk about a little game called Terranigma. No one make a Ligma joke. So Terranigma is this
balls.
Yeah, exactly. Terranigma, not to be confused with the esports company. was a game released on the the Super Nintendo in 1995, I believe. It was developed by Quintet. Quintet is kind of like a underground favorite game developer from back in the day.
You're like one of the 10 people who's played this game, right?
I've actually never played Terranigma.
You sure talk about Terranigma a lot for a person who's never played it.
I do. And the thing is because I watch Rue from Clan Grey Wolf, 16-Bit Gems, and he talked about Terranigma in a video once years ago. I'm very well aware of Terranigma. I just never gotten around to fucking playing it because it was only released in Japan and in PAL. So there was no way I could have played it back in the day. Actually,
it's Siren 2. I see.
It's a lot like Siren 2. But like Quintet was they're like a darling company. They made ActRaiser, they made Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia. These are all good games. Soul Blazer and ActRaiser especially are great. I have played those. ActRaiser, Terranigma is considered the best one, so I really should play it. But someone I believe one of the developers from Quintet shared a Dropbox link of just the design document for the game. Did I put his name in the news? Tenshi Sozo, I believe, is his name. Maybe I got this wrong. I'm sorry if I did. But yeah, you can just find this. I'll put this in the description. It's got a concept art for a lot of the characters in the game. It's got a skateboard. Just fucking really cool stuff that was just never seen the light of day until now. I presume that people didn't even know this fucking thing existed. And this guy just like came on Twitter one day, he's like, here you go, and then just
he vanished into moonlight. Does Terranigma like mean something? It's like heaven and earth destruction.
It looks like Dragon Quest.
It does kind of look like Dragon Quest. I believe it's supposed to, because it's a time travel game. Oh, okay. Kind of like Illusion, because Illusion of Gaia, Soul Blazer, and Terranigma are an unofficial trilogy, in that like they're spiritual successors to each other.
Where does Chrono Trigger fit in all this?
Doesn't fit at all. Quintet had nothing to do with Square at the time, although they were published by Enix, and Square technically does own, I believe they own the Quintet IPs. They just never do anything with them. I think Quintet in general is just like kind of one of those companies that is technically dead, hasn't been around, and no one knows what's really happened to them. I assume they got absorbed when Square and Enix merged.
It would be a fun thing to like find all the people that like worked on it and are credited and just see where they are.
I would really like to do some sort of video about Quintet someday.
They were last credited for the 2004 Inuyasha, The Secret of the Cursed Mask on the PlayStation 2.
You can't really trust
to just have this is immortalized in the words Tim Rogers, but you know, like companies don't make games, like people make games. So it's really hard to be like, okay, well Quintet made this thing in 2014. It's like, okay, what Quintet? What Rare? What
yeah.
You know, it's like that kind of thing. It's like
yeah. So cool stuff. Right. The fucking, I was gonna say, like, the name Terranigma, I believe it's like, you know, it's like Earth and like Enigma, I think is what they're trying to go with for the name.
Interesting.
It's like but I think it has another name in Japan.
Yeah, because like I'm looking at this tweet that this guy posted, and he's like a PDF of the Heaven and Earth Creation rough art book, and I'm like, Heaven and Earth Creation.
And this is Google Translate, so you know, that could just be
like Google Translate is like generally it's the best like free translator. So
yeah, but it also in the design doc has it labeled as Terranigma. Yeah. So I think that's just the name. Maybe it's some sort of indecipherable Japanese pun.
Yeah, who knows?
Everyone take a look at this. I mean, this is like genuinely great art.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at it right now. Pretty dope.
I hope more stuff like this comes out. I would love to see something for ActRaiser like this. All right. Yeah.
I guess I'll go on to my stuff, and then we can get to Tabby's last news.
Yeah.
Deathloop, made by company Arcane Studios, is getting. I have a million tabs open right now. Sorry. So, Deathloop is being delayed till September 14th. They released like a little statement on Twitter. And they released like a video and like a picture. You know how every company does like the picture with like a nice little design. They're like, guys, we're so sorry. The video game has to be delayed. I think delays are a good thing, but this game has been delayed till September 14th.
Delayed game, pee pee poo poo Miyamoto. Shiggy we got everyone knows. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, they're like, we're committed to quality and preserving the team's ambitions for Deathloop while ensuring the health and safety of everyone at Arcane. They're going to be taking extra time to complete it. They apologize for the extent late. Thank you, game director Dinga Bakaba. Great name. Yeah, this is I don't know. I think delays are a good thing. So this is like good news for me. It's like anything to like mitigate crunch is just good in my eye. I don't care. Take 10 years to make the game, as long as the game actually gets made and you don't crunch the fuck out of your people. I don't care what you do.
No. Don't you understand? They put themselves on a limit. They're going to be crunching them until that day.
No, just keep delaying it.
You're right.
I do hear that a lot of companies that do delay games, they still end up crunching.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would hope that I haven't heard any sort of expose about Arcane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're probably fine, and like Bethesda in general is apparently one of the better companies in regards to crunch. Will explain why their games come out the way they do, I guess. But you know.
But I mean, what about Supergiant?
I'm talking about like big AAA publishers. I'm talking about fucking indie devs like Supergiant. Yeah. I would hope that no fucking indie studio is crunching.
Yeah.
Oh, every indie studio is crunching.
Arcane's got 150 people working under them. Like they like. I don't know.
Not that much.
It's not a lot, but it's like I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about them crunching, so I'm going to say that they're probably not.
I'm sure it's fine. I'll wait for the Jason Schreier article to make my judgment. Sorry, I can't have an opinion on Arcane Studios. Jason Schreier hasn't made his article yet.
Yeah. Sorry, Jim Sterling hasn't made a new video. I gotta wait.
So we need to read Jason Schreier's new book before we can really understand like the intricacies of crunch.
Yeah, true.
What is that called? Press reset.
Shut
up. That's not what it's called. Shut up.
Up top.
You fucking assholes. I am the only person in this call that likes Jason
Burning
Schreier.
Bridges, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Jason Schreier.
Fuck you, Richard
you can come
Lewis.
onto my podcast. You can't come onto this one though. It's Press Reset. That's the book.
I'll press reset, all right.
But yeah, no.
Tabby, what's the rest of your news?
Tell me about the horrors of the world.
All right, we're doing it. We're talking about the scariest thing on the planet, Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, wait. You have two things of news. Whoops. All right, continue.
I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, you shortages.
Oh,
fucking anime brain immediately talking about Final Fantasy. God.
Yeah, so...
It's like horrors, like, oh, he must be talking about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's terrifying. You get addicted to it. So Final Fantasy 14 had their full rundown on the new patch. Patch 5.5, which is going to be the final patch until Endwalker for the Shadowbringer saga of
Final Fantasy 4 patch, 14. Baby. Let's fucking
Final
go.
Fantasy 14. New main story quests are being added. New dungeon is being added. The final chapter to the Sorrow of Wurlet is being added. Don't ask me what that is, because I'm still not really sure.
Finally.
The final Nier update is going to be added into this, which is canon, just as a reminder to the Nier lore. These events of Final Fantasy XIV are canon, and you might have to have played them to understand some stuff that happens in the Nier Replicant remake. I'm just saying.
That just reminds me of when you start up Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, the first thing it tells you is that, warning, the story you are about to experience is canon.
Yes.
I just imagine what the fuck Yoko Taro playing Barkley and being like, and starts like taking notes.
I bet he has. He seems like the kind of person that would like that game.
Infinite respect to anyone who's played Barkley. Unless you suck, then
hell yeah.
Fuck you.
So yeah, basically it's just all the final updates to some stuff. The Feast, which is their PvP mode, is getting a new season, which is pretty normal for patches. The final update to the Save the Queen quest line is being there. The new Unreal stuff, new crafter things. There's a new mount, new triple triad stuff. Just a lot of new things. Most importantly, they're adding upscaled UI for people who play on large displays or even just 4K monitors.
Unga bunga.
Because of the PS5 version.
Me don't know how to play triple triad.
Yes.
I kind of know how to play it. I'm not as crazy about it as some people are, though.
Triple triad's sick.
I take it over Blitzball, but
yeah. People are saying that they need to add Blitzball into FF14, which I do agree.
They have to add it for the culture, not because people like it.
Yes. I'll say the most interesting thing from all this, and this is really the last thing I'll say on it, is that Yoshi P said in the JP Dev interview thing they did about this, that they're trying to reduce the amount of in-game currency that's currently in the game.
Good luck.
And they don't want to just strip it from people, because obviously that's kind of fucked.
Buying GF.
But they're trying to make more items that are like cool mounts and stuff that are only possible with large amounts of gil.
RuneScape has been trying to do this for fucking ever, dude. Good fucking luck.
I know. So I think it's interesting. It's not going to go anywhere.
You can't
I have an idea.
Fighting inflation in a game where gold is infinitely generated and there's no way to get rid of it is not possible.
Add a huge money sink to all right, the Endwalker DLC. It has this huge money sink per server or guild or whatever the fuck they do in that game. Everyone contributes to this big, gigantic amount of gil, and the reward is this fucking awesome the lunar whale from Final Fantasy IV.
The lunar whale is purchasable in the shop right now.
Fuck! It's already in the game.
It's being added. It is literally being added with this patch into the shop to buy for $30.
I mean, just tax players to do raids.
No. I'm already broke most of the time in the game as is.
Yeah, you're going to be broker.
I imagine it'll just be are there airships in the game? Do they do anything?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll probably just be like a fucking souped up badass airship, because that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I don't think
Fantasy IV.
Yeah. Kind of tangenty, but Nier Automata could just have an MMO. The proof of concept is there in Final Fantasy XIV. People would play that.
Yes.
Because I've heard multiple times, I don't really even care about Final Fantasy XIV. I just care about the Nier content.
Yeah, that's definitely some people. I'll say this, Final Fantasy XIV is available as a free trial from levels 1 to 60 with the first DLC pack. No, it's 1 to 50 actually, but that's not even what it is. Final Fantasy XIV is legitimately good outside of the first 200 hours of the game.
I hate the story content.
I'm the JRPG guy, and I'm like, fuck off.
I hate that I have to play for the story. I hate it.
I do as well. I wish I could just hit 50 and then just choose to interact with the story if I wanted to, but I get why they want you to interact with the story to keep it like a Final Fantasy game.
Null hates Final Fantasy.
He does, but he loves Final Fantasy.
I like
14.
World of
That's
Warcraft.
why he plays it every day. Yes. Final Fantasy 14 is really good. I will recommend, if you want to play it, wait for it to go on a sale, buy it, Then buy the skip the first 2 expansions pass and a character level up.
Are the first 2 not that good?
They're long.
People like Heaven's Ward. I don't. I think Heaven's Ward is pretty weak, but some people really like it. So maybe just skip a Realm Reborn. It costs you $11 to skip a Realm Reborn.
Why should I have to pay to get less content? Just give me the option to fucking skip it. I thought
the fucking Realm Reborn saved the fucking MMO, and now I hear it sucks.
It did save it. Compared to vanilla, it's way better, but it doesn't mean it's still it just takes not good.
It takes forever to play through, and all your friends are sitting there having a lot of fun, and you're just sitting there like, I guess I'll spend 2 months of my subscription playing by myself in this massively multiplayer online role-playing game.
Meanwhile, your friends are in the most recent expansion, literally.
Is that spoilers?
You'll want to bleep that out.
What? I don't even have.
Whoops! My brain just kind of went on autopilot there. Yeah, bleep that out.
Yeah, go ahead and tell me your other news too, Tabby.
Yeah. So the other news is something that we all kind of knew already with everything that people have been talking about, but and this has been for a year now at least. Foxconn finally admits to a component shortage, or admits that the component shortage is going to continue. And that's delaying. Foxconn, if you don't know, is I think the largest manufacturer of electronics in the world. They're based out of China. They also have the highest suicide rate, I'm pretty sure. I think they were the first company to invest in suicide nets for their buildings. Just saying. But
damage mitigation.
Yeah. But so there's just a full component shortage. And that's a variety of different things, capacitors to silicone to put in there to processor, chip, micro, copper, everything you need to build electronics is in a shortage right now. And that's due to a variety of factors. Mostly we're just running out of silicone. And we are, with COVID, their factories that are able to produce the parts that make those components aren't in full swing or are finally just getting back to it. So we're going to be, you see a global wide across the board electronics shortage.
I mean, we have been seeing it. It's now
we're going to see
apparent.
It continue
yeah.
until or this time next year or later. So
fuck yes.
Good luck trying to buy your PS5.
We just need to start investing in biotechnology where we harness the power of a live cat or something.
The cell processor.
Yes.
That's right. The Sony PlayStation 3.
Don't mind me just cradling my PlayStation 5 box with my no games.
Are you going to keep the box?
I was going to put it downstairs, yeah.
Maybe when you're 40, it'll be worth something.
No, it won't be.
There will be nostalgia for the PS5. They'll be like, hey, man, you guys remember the PS5?
It has a handle, so if I ever need to move it, I might as well just keep the box.
That's why I kept mine.
Yeah, no, I actually keep a lot of my electronics boxes because they're perfect to ship things in. Because
I really shouldn't keep a lot of things, but boxes is fine.
Yeah, boxes.
But yeah, that's my news.
Cool. Do you have anything else, Tech?
You did all your news, right?
No.
No?
Yeah, so Path of Exile 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo. We got
I gotta talk about my MMO now. You gotta talk about your MMO.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean, it's kind of an MMO. The Path of Exile devs, who are their names, Grinding Gear. That's right, Grinding Gear Games, New Zealand-based company.
Owned by Tencent.
Owned by Tencent. Aren't we all?
I'm owned by Tencent.
Yes. They did a live stream talking about so if you don't know what Path of Exile is, it's kind of like Diablo 2 or Diablo 3 where they do seasons, and every season they switch up stats and gear items and change things around and introduce new mechanics. And so every time they are doing a new set, they kind of pour in a little bit of news with it too, a new season I should say. And this one they gave us kind of a gameplay like a bunch of just like gameplay footage of Path of Exile 2, which is the sequel to Path of Exile 1. But it's weird because it's like a sequel, but it's not. They both play on the same client. You can port your character forward or back from Path of Exile 1 to 2. They have different stories, but the multiplayer is the same. It's really strange. I don't know.
It's like Overwatch 2.
Yeah, but Overwatch 2, kinda? I don't know. Because, like, the thing is like, I don't know how it works because Path of Exile 2 has, like, different systems, but it shares multiplayer. So, like, how you, like, get your skills is different in Path of Exile 2, but it also, like, shares multiplayer. No idea how it's going to work. But anyway, we got to see a little bit of it. It looks way too good for Path of Exile. I hate it. I think Path of Exile should be able to run on like potatoes, and this is not. Dude, the animations, they're too good. the VFX are too good. I think that you need to be able to run this thing on a Windows XP machine. So
yeah, you were saying that earlier that it's like, can this run on XP? Well, they're gonna start a class war.
Yeah, no,
Path of Exile and Path of Exile 2 players.
Because the online is shared, I definitely will see, like, I think Path of Exile 2 players will see people playing Path of Exile 1 content and whatnot and be like, ha, you're poor. But, yeah, no, it's pretty cool. We don't have, like, a release date for it. It's not coming out this year, though. The new season news is, like, only interesting if you care about Path of Exile, so I won't even get into that. But Path of Exile 2.
Hell yeah.
So, I guess I'm the only one with news left then.
Oh, I thought you were done.
Nope. We gotta talk about E3 again.
Oh, yeah, E3.
Yeah!
Because E3 is back, baby! Yes! We're having all the companies back, except for Sony and EA. Nintendo has confirmed they're coming back. They're gonna have another digital show, just like they have been for the past like almost 10 years now. I think the last time they did I don't think it's all digital. It's an all digital show, so everyone's doing digital stuff. But like, Microsoft's gonna be there, Ubisoft, Blizzard. No, Blizzard isn't gonna be there. What the hell? Yeah. Like a couple of people aren't showing up. Like Square Enix is usually there. They're not showing up. Activision, Bamco, Sega, they're not going to be there, which is kind of shitty. But you know, they'll be at TGS. At least Bamco and Sega will.
They're going to show nothing, and they're going to have like 30 hours of interviews with idols.
There's one more company. There's one more company that's going to be there, and it's going to be none other than Konami. Konami's going to show up.
You're missing one other one, actually.
Oh, who else?
Capcom is going to be there, be at the E3 showcase.
Oh, that's good.
And people are like saying, this is it. This is the confirmation. New Marvel vs. Capcom game being revealed at E3. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Fighting game players are so...
Fighting game players are the worst because it's like Resident Evil 8 is coming out. Monster Hunter Rise exists.
Your mom knows who Iron Man now is anymore. You can't get Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm sorry.
I mean, we did and it was bad, but...
Yeah, last time we did, it was fucking rushed and shit.
Yeah, but they had the Thanos Gauntlet tournament.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
No, that tournament is insane. So winners of premiere events got Infinity Stones depending on what the event was.
Did they look like the pre-order bonus ones? The eggs?
No, they were just figurative because they gave you different abilities in tournament.
That sounds like some shit I'd come up with. That's fucking awesome.
It's actually kind of cool because like some of them were interesting. So it was like...
And just imagine Sonic Fox just winning all of them. And then doing like a Sonic Fox thing at the end of a tournament.
There was one that was like you select your opponent's team. The one that's probably the most busted was you get the first touch in a game.
Aren't like Marvel vs. Capcom games like Touch of Death?
Yes, that means literally one character dead. I don't understand
how come this didn't work.
There's two others I don't remember, or
There was one
a
where
couple
you could
others.
mess with the button configuration on your opponent's controller.
Yes. There's messing with your opponent's buttons. My personal favorite was swap places with someone else in the bracket.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
You
okay,
get
what's
the
that?
dodge bracket.
What's I'm doing? Oh, I'm playing against Daigo next. No. Give me Chris G. I want to play against him instead. We're switching.
Chris G's like, what the fuck? Now I want Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite to have been successful because this is fucking awesome.
It was a really nightmarish tournament though for all who went.
The problem is I don't like if like when money's on the line, fighting game player anyone really would just do some grimy shit to win, and that's like maximum grime. Just getting like a thing like that, and
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Soulstone. So Space Stone was the bracket swap. Soulstone allowed you to erase one of your losses in a 3 out of 5 set.
These are the kind of things that like Yu-Gi-Oh would print as like a prize card that you couldn't use.
This is just Yu-Gi-Oh. This is just a Yu-Gi. This is just Pegasus. Pegasus is
Yeah. So Time Stone.
The fucking Millennium Rod does this now. I don't know.
Time Stone was negate someone else's stone. Power Stone was you get to execute the first combo of a match, and Cloud 805 won that, which is like Cloud 805 is a very like technical player, so he's like he'd figure out a way to kill both characters in one combo.
Yeah.
Mind Stone, selected your opponent's characters, and Infinity Stone, and Reality Stone let you swap 3 button functions.
Yeah. Very good. I'm putting the start button like where your punch button is.
That's what people were saying to do, so that when they press that, then they get DQ'd for pressing the start button in a match.
Yeah. What were you saying though, Tech? What was your?
Right, we were talking about fucking E3. Yeah, no, it's just it's just going to exist in some way. It's gonna be free still.
We've gone like fucking 4 episodes of like E3 is dead, E3 alive, E3 paid, E3 alive,
and free, and Konami's gonna be there.
Yeah, Konami, pretty cool. So with Bethesda being bought by Xbox, do you think we might get Todd Howard? Please.
I would love. I need another B3 show. I need more of those. Just please, for the
really
love of God, I need more Bethesda E3.
I hope Bethesda gets their own panel. I hope they're not just put into the Xbox panel.
I want them to be put somewhere. I want Todd Howard. I just want to see Todd Howard, dude. I miss you. Return my calls.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
That's DMCA.
Is it?
Yeah, because I do it so well.
All right,
right?
I'll put like 10 Doom shotguns there. I'm not actually going to do that.
That's all my news.
That's cool. Okay. Yeah, E3, very cool. Do you have anything to say about E3, Tabby?
Please be normal next
year. Are we gonna cover E3? How are we gonna do that?
You want to do like a live stream on the channel?
Probably not, because I got work.
Well, let's discuss that. Not while we're recording.
Oh no, viewers love Inside Baseball.
It's true.
All right. I mean, like, I can take a day off of work for E3.
I can't.
I'm not taking a day off of work for fucking E3.
Yeah.
Especially when Sony isn't gonna be there. It's like, who fucking?
We'll just have to do a roundup. It's probably fine.
We could just stay off of all social media and then do a roundup podcast every single day.
I don't know about that. If you want to edit those, maybe, but
look, it's Gamer Christmas. Okay,
let's talk about Return to the Past.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I thought of another tagline for this, another song we could use. No, I forget it. I forgot what it was. I was at work when it happened. So we're gonna have to stick with Andy Blarg's Return to the Mac parody song that you were using again. Thank you, Andy Blarg, for letting us use this song.
Shout outs to Andy Blur,
Shout outs to Andy Blar. Check out his YouTube channel. It's good stuff.
friend of the show.
Link to the past. Here we go. A link to the past. Start the show. A link to the past. Give your all. You know this game's a blast. You won't fall. A link to the past. Save the world. A link.
Noel, do you want to start off with your monumental news?
Yeah, sure.
Of news from the past, from this current week in games. That's
Yes.
what this section in Journalism Not Guaranteed is. We went back.
So basically, like, we cover news from 4/2/2021 to 4/9/2021, and then we go back and find news from April 2nd through April 9th in the past, just like any year.
Why are you explaining it like this?
What?
Sometimes I feel like we don't explain it well enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know,
we
I
not?
feel like someone could hop into our podcast and just like be like, oh, they're just like talking about random shit at the end.
Talking about pizza now?
Fair.
So, April 6th, 1986, the company Atlas was born. Atlas, known makers of video games such as Persona 5 The Royal.
And Persona 5 Strikers, yeah.
Yes, and P5A, that does not
What did
exist
they...
yet.
So they've been around for 35 years? I don't
Yep.
get it. So they made their first game 30 years later? Persona 5? God, jeez. I mean, like, we were talking about delays. Now they're good, but like fucking 30-year delay? Shit.
I mean, listen, dude, if that's what it takes to get
Why'd they
Persona
start with
5,
the fifth one? Like, weird.
Fucking Japanese developers. Who knows?
No, it's super crazy. I feel like this is like the millionth time I've talked about Atlas, but they just, I guess April,
come up a lot.
I guess April was just like March through April was just a good set of days from them in the past, you know. But
Well, March was April's the beginning of the fiscal year, so that's when we hear
Yeah.
about a lot of.
yeah, that's when
like-
things bump.
That's when things start in the business world, and games are business, of course.
I'm seeing a comment on their post about it. It's like Unmasked 891 on Twitter. It's like, remember who you were before Persona got mainstream. God, I love
God.
entitled gamers.
Twitter
dude.
comment of the week, everyone.
Yes.
I always forget about that segment.
Sometimes we do too.
Yeah, it's there's not much I have to say about like Atlas. It's very cool that they've been around. Like 1986, that's like before video games existed, right?
It's they're as old as Zelda and Metroid.
Yeah. Which like comparatively they're like as old as dirt. Like
Yeah, 35 years is fucking old as hell in games.
that's like, how old am I? I'm 26. Atlas existed 9 years longer than me.
Yeah.
Man who is talking about them
Precisely.
on a podcast.
Atlas is a cool company. Sometimes they're not a very cool company, but they make good games at least. So it's kind of like Nintendo in a way, where it'd be like, man, fuck you, Atlas. Still
And
buying Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne though.
and they're really backwards on a lot of technology policies about their games.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, weren't they
do
doing
not
the
stream
thing-
Nocturne HD.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Do not stream 20-year-old PlayStation 2
Jesus
game.
Christ. I cannot believe they did that. Also, telling them to remember who they were before Persona, dude, that's like telling them to stop releasing in America, dude.
Yeah.
It's okay. The localization will still take a year for games.
Worldwide release for 5 though. 2021.
Yeah.
Get excited.
Get hype.
Isn't that supposed to be out like end of the month?
No. People were like when it first got announced for 2021, people were saying that it was gonna come out at the beginning of the fiscal year, but that was like wrong or something. It's just 2021. If anything, it's probably gonna come out in like November.
We'll probably get the date revealed at E3 this year.
Tech,
Yeah,
Tech,
this will be the time.
Tech, why did you tell me to go first when you have like 10 things on your list?
I have 3 things, and I don't know what to tell you. I You all had all week to come up with to do some news. I personally did some journalism earlier today,
Sure,
and scrounged quite a few newses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, then why don't you get into yours?
Yeah, I'll go into the most boring one. So Microsoft executives had an interview back in April 6th, 2007. They're just talking about the future of digital distribution. They were with a Hewlett Packard event. Remember Hewlett Packard, HP? I believe.
Still around.
Are they still around? They're not nearly as big as they used to be, though.
No, they are still quite big.
But no one talks about them.
They are still quite big.
Like fucking whatever, man. Anyway.
I'm literally using an HP monitor right now.
Oh.
I'm using an Asus.
Alright, I am too. Alright, fine, you know what? I'll eat crow. I'm sorry, alright? I just associate Hewlett Packard with Gateway and IBM. I don't know, I just do. Anyway.
IBM is still around.
You're not going to tell me that the fucking kids know what IBM is,
Dude,
though.
IBM...
They don't, but they're still around.
IBM bought Ustream.
They did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Fucking... whatever. Anyway. This is... This was just an interview from, like, the dawn of like, being able to download games through the internet on your console. It was 2007, so the 360 was less than 2 years old at this point. Same with the PS3, the Wii was just a little over, or just, I think the Wii was, no, the PS3 wasn't even a year old because it came out in 06, right? Same with the Wii. So yeah. Because this was in April, so it was a little while. It was in the infancy of the 7th gen. Obviously, back then, downloading stuff wasn't nearly as feasible as it is nowadays. Where not only do a lot of people download their games like exclusively, there's also like preloading games and all that shit. They talk about how Steam is kind of picking up. And that definitely happened. Basically, this article is like, unfortunately for them, they were very right about pretty much everything they said about digital distribution. It hasn't overtaken physical, and they talk about how like physical media is still like kind of important to them. I'm sure nowadays a lot of applause.
Is this Phil Spencer saying that?
No, Phil Spencer had nothing to do with Microsoft back in 07. Who was it? Still Phil Harrison running the show? No, it was Don Matrick, right? Was he running the show back then?
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy. Fucking Christ, that guy. But I don't even. This was who? Rich Wickham was saying this. I have no clue who that is. Perhaps we'll do a little bit of sleuthing.
Rich Wickham's a very funny name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is a lot of just like. I like how he says like, we don't want to like tell retailers that we're like planning on killing the medium eventually because that'll scare them. But like, we think it's gonna happen.
It's the frog in the boiling pot.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
But it's interesting. They're talking about like live arcade and being like, we think this just like provides a better experience to like purchasing a game because you can buy like you can get like the demo right there, and if you like it, you can buy it right there, and it's like, you know.
In that regard, live arcade was kind of cool because it was an avenue for a lot of smaller games to reach more people. Like, I mean, that's how Super Meat Boy got big, right? Because it was on live arcade.
Yeah, and I watched Indie Game the movie.
Yes, I was hoping this would happen. Fuck yeah, Indie Game the movie count, baby. We did it again. Yeah, but no, I mean, no, they're fucking right. The live arcade, you weren't gonna see Super Meat Boy in stores.
It's true. I mean, like, as much as I love like like physical media and like having it and the finality of like physical media, especially like in offline games. We're like very much in an era in 2007 where that's just kind of like going away, and we're starting to see like new content like popping up for games that have already been released. And we're also seeing a lot more indies being able to like do their thing, which is a very good thing. You know, I like having the discs, and I wish that like there was a way for indies to release on disc as well, but it's just kind of not a thing. So
it's more feasible than it used to be.
Limited run games.
I mean, yeah, but even like some of the bigger indie games managed to get box releases. The thing is that like physical. As much as I hate to say it, owning physical games in general, it feels it's not as tangible as it used to be. Like way less tangible than it used to be, because like
go buy a fucking case,
you know,
and you get like a paper with a code on it in it, and that's the only thing in the case.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about like, you know, you pop the disc in and the day one patch.
Yes.
Right. I gotta download that.
Yep.
If I just like every single time that happens to me, I just can't help but feel like shit. If I theoretically wanted to play this game, I wouldn't be able to because it doesn't have the day one patch.
Yep.
It's just.
I had like a 40-minute argument with somebody over this the other day, so I'm not going to rehash it.
It was like an hour. I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I dodged it.
Yeah.
I was playing Demon's Souls.
That's why I made that tweet that's like, release your game once on physical DVD-ROM and never touch it again challenge.
No. It was more like an hour and a half. Now that I'm really
it was definitely a very long argument with an Australian man.
It's always the Australian man.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. Also, I just want to note, because I saw it here. We'll get to you, Tabby. I'm sorry for kind of jumping on the bit here, but I saw in the sidebar of this article that you're talking about from Gama Sutra, another article. It's an editorial from. Oh wait, why is that? 07. I'm going to talk about it anyway. It's on this article. They're doing an editorial, and they're like, will hardcore gamers be pushed aside this generation? And they're talking about how like Nintendo.
Will hardcore gamers what?
They're like, sorry?
Will hardcore gamers be pushed aside this console generation?
So, and like the thing is they're like talking about how like successful the Wii and DS is in the casual markets, and they're like, should Sony and Microsoft take similar steps? And I just think that's a very funny like editorial like question.
It's this is from July 9th, 2007. It's because the day that this page was captured was July 10th.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
On archive.
But it actually came out on the April 6th. Yeah, that's probably why. But I saw that in the sidebar, and I couldn't help myself but want to bring that up, because that's just like such a like vid game company doing this. Should all vid game company do this?
That's literally just been game journalism since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
Go again, Ted. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go again because I want to talk. So, when I was reading this, I saw this article and I thought it was pretty funny, and it's also about Microsoft, and it's technically from the 1st of April, but you know what? Fucking, we covered the direct in the first episode and all that.
Our
shit.
formula is falling apart.
We're fucking running this one because it's good. It's an interview with fucking Christ. It's an interview with Yoshiki Okamoto of Game Republic and Tetsuya Mizuguchi of Q Entertainment. They are talking about the next gen Xbox. It's from April 1st, 2005. So this is before it even had a name, I suppose. It's a very short little article. It just it talks about Okamoto, who was involved in Street Fighter 2 and Resident Evil. He used to work with Capcom. He left to form Game Republic to make all sorts of smaller projects, I suppose. Game Republic, I believe. Where the fuck is Game Republic now? They, I believe they got bought out by someone.
It was codenamed Xenon. That's what it was.
What?
Xenon?
The Xbox 360's code name was Xenon.
Oh, because like an X. Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, they Game Republic closed back in June 2011, but a lot of their staff got absorbed in the Tango Gameworks, so that's where a lot of them are now. Game Republic made games like they made Folklore, or at least they helped make Folklore, I believe, with Japan Studio. I think that's probably their biggest game. But they also made Genji, Dawn of the Samurai, and Days of the Blade. Genji, Days of the Blade, I believe, is the game with the giant enemy crabs.
Giant enemy crabs.
That was at the PS3 show way back in the day. But basically, he talks about he's excited about the about being able to take advantage of the Xbox Live online stuff, and he expresses interest in wanting to make this party game that will become the Xbox's Super Smash Brothers Melee,
like a system seller.
Yeah, he wants it to be. Yeah, he wants it to be like, that huge tentpole title for the console.
Yeah, this is interesting to me. Do we know what game that was meant to be?
All right, so I was looking at their gameography. It has to be this game called Every Party, because
Every Party.
It was because it was a launch title for the 360 in Japan. It never released over here, for one, just kind of sad. But also funny.
Wait, this looks like
the
shit.
really funny thing is it was the last Game Republic game released for the 360 until 2010 with Clash of the Titans, which was a multiplat.
What? Wait, this game doesn't even look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't.
How can you make this game and be like, yeah, we want this to be Melee?
I don't know, dude. Something else he talks about how a lot of companies really wanted to hire this guy because of his experience with fighting games, and he just wasn't interested in doing something like that, so he turned them all down. It's kind of an interesting, it's cool that he wanted to kind of focus on other sorts of projects and didn't want to just get bogged down in being the fighting game guy. I don't know how. Tab, fighting game stuff. Was this guy hugely involved in Street Fighter 2?
What was his name again?
Shit. Yoshiki Okamoto. Or Yoshiki, maybe. I'm sorry if I'm butchering
Yoshiki.
it. White guy says Japanese names wrong. Challenge.
Yeah. He did. He worked on Final Fight. He worked on. Is he credited as? Yeah, he's credited as the lead producer for the game.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So he's all right. Yeah. Then all right. Cool.
You guys.
Just curious.
You guys want to see something weird?
Sure.
Look at this picture that Tech will put in the show notes of just Every Party Let's Play footage on the IGN official YouTube page, and all of the descriptions are just none. Period. None. Period.
This is a creepypasta.
This is some ARG shit. There's a bunch of this.
I will say, so he isn't credited onto 2 Turbo though, which people like 2, but that's not the
Turbo's
definitive
the one.
version. Turbo 2 is
Which one did
it's
DSP win?
Super Turbo, right?
Yeah, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Turbo.
Yeah, he won a PS1 port of or PS2 port of Super Turbo that everyone hates, that no one played. That's why he won, right? Because he was one of the only people who went to that Evo.
I mean, Daiko went to it.
Oh shit! Never mind.
Wait,
then
what?
he deserved.
Wait,
fuck. We're not talking about this. We're talking about
I don't even know.
Talking about the DSP thing.
About DSP.
Yeah.
No, DSP. I think maybe DSP won more events than Marvel 2, though. That's what DSP's known for.
Yeah, but he's the one. He always talks about the Super Turbo win. In
he
05.
He was shit talking Daigo really hard. He's I'm coming for you, Daigo. I'm coming for you.
DSP did not want an Evo U slur. Here's a freaking video of DSP getting his ass, word I'm not going to say on the internet, by Tokido in top 8.
He won it. Oh, who cares?
He was playing Vega. What a fucking loser.
I think Vega was also busted in that version due to some bug.
If Vega knocks you down, he has a instant left-right mix-up on your wake-up. So it's literally you play a guessing game, and if you guess incorrectly, he's still at an advantage.
All right, shut up.
He placed fourth. He placed fourth at 2005 Evo tournament Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Congratulations to Darkside Phil for winning fourth in Evo 2005. Here's your $200. Fucking they interviewed 2 developers for this next gen Xbox, and the other one was is Tetsuya Mizuguchi, who Q Entertainment. They made Rez and Luminous and stuff. He's one of the big guys behind all those rhythm games. He also worked on Space Channel 5, which is cool. But yeah, he seems pretty optimistic about the Xbox and its future with his company. And I remember, all right, let's take a look at what he released on Xbox Live Arcade. Actually quite a few. Luminous Live, Every Extend Extra Extreme, which is a mouthful, and also Meteos Wars and 06, 07, and 08 respectively. And Mizuguchi actually he left Q Entertainment in 2013 and formed Enhanced Games, which I believe are the developers behind the Tetris Effect. So
I've not heard of any of those games. I don't think.
You've never heard of Rez?
I don't think so.
You're gonna have to review that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then when you get to Reps 3 GOG, you'll have to review that, and Reps 4 GOG, and eventually Reps 5 GOG.
I played a little bit of Nier the other day. That's kind of like Rez, right?
No, Rez is a rhythm game that came with it had I believe it was called I'm looking this up. Rez Enhance. It came with this little peripheral called it's not called the fucking Enhance. What the fuck? It's the vibrator. It came with the vibrator.
It's the trance vibrator.
The trance vibrator. Yeah. All right. So you put it on your lap, and and depending on what you do in the game Rez, it'll vibrate depending in corresponding to the gameplay.
Why?
It's a legendary peripheral.
That's fucking ridiculous. Why would they do this?
No comment.
So, why?
No, you're gonna have to get the vibrator.
How much is it on eBay?
It's gotta be expensive. It's one of the most iconic game peripherals ever, just because of how ridiculous it is that they've literally sold people a vibrator.
I can buy a copy of the game with that's not opened, and it has the vibrator for $54 from Japan with $25 shipping.
Oh, but it's a Japanese copy.
I can buy an NTSC version with the vibrator for $87 with $20 shipping.
All right, well, cool.
I mean, it's not that's a lot of money, but it's not outlandish.
Yeah, well, that's good.
God, I'm gonna fucking tape that shit to my face and be like, this is what I'm using it for. There's nothing else going on with this product.
I hear Rez is really good. You kind of liked Fantavision, didn't you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was looking at this game and I was like, this looks like a tech demo.
Rez is the game Rez fans won't shut up about.
Well, I would assume.
The people who I know that really like Rez talk about it constantly.
We should all play it someday. Do a res spoiler cast.
Oh, so we should all get the vibrator.
Of course. I mean,
Well, I'll play the PS4 version that doesn't need it.
I'll get the PS3 version. No, you need it. I mean, the DualShock doesn't the DualShock 2?
Yeah,
That's why it's called the fucking DualShock, is that it has rumble.
Rumble.
It's not the same.
Listen, you need to feel the rumble in your hands and your body.
Exactly. Or anywhere else.
Nowhere else. What do
Tabby,
you got, Tabby?
tell us about your news from the past.
All right, so I've got news. I've got news from the past about on today, the day we are recording in 2014.
The 8th of April.
I was gonna leave it to the audience to decipher it. Let them. Do
No,
some
this is a news podcast. We specifically date ourselves.
Oh right, yes. Gematsu got a leak for Smash 4. I think it was like a day before a direct came out, something like that.
Wait. April 24th? Or April 8th, right? That's when the
April
leak came
8th
out?
is when the leak came out, and I don't remember when the direct was about Smash 4 that they were leaking.
It came out it came out in E3. That was when it happened. I think because Greninja was revealed in April, I think, and Greninja wasn't in.
Gotcha. Yeah, so in that leak they said that Pac-Man, Mii's, Shulk from Xenoblade, Palutena from Kid Icarus, Chrom from Fire Emblem Awakening, and the Chorus Kid from Rhythm Heaven would be added into Smash 4, as well as a Pokemon from Pokemon X and Y.
There you go.
Could you imagine these leaks?
Can
Can you imagine like the internet during these leaks? And like
I can because I was there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't because I'm not a Nintendo.
I'm not as the resident Nintendrone of journalism not guaranteed. I can tell you that there was a lot of heated discussion over whether the Gematsu leak was real or not.
Well,
I
what
do
specifically
remember
tells me that was happening is because Shulk.
Yes,
like
so. People nowadays would probably scoff and be like, "Oh, of course Shulk would be in Smash Bros." No. You need to rewind the clock back to 2014 when Xenoblade Chronicles was a game that only barely got released in the West and no one knew.
I paid $70 from a GameStop used for that game.
My sister bought it new. For my brother, who played the shit out of it.
Whenever I think of Xenoblade, though, like I bought it and then haven't played it since. Literally, all I think is, Rain, you're a lifesaver.
Oh yeah, baby.
Or Rain, do the yoinky splinky.
Leave it to Roin. Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's
it's Roin time. Please. This people like all leaks. People were like, huh, "Yeah, sure, whatever, dude." And then Greninja was revealed, and it's like, "Oh, well, it wasn't actually. It could have been anyone. It's an obvious guess." And as they, I believe, I was a doubter. Obviously, I was hashtag doubter. But when they revealed Palutena and the Mii Fighters and Pac-Man at the subsequent E3, I was like, okay, this is real. This has to be real, right?
The only thing that leak got wrong, I think, was Chorus Kids.
And Chorus Kids is the only character that wasn't in Smash 4, but people looked in the files, and not only did they find a Dr. Mario stage, sort of like half finished or whatever, or just like files for it. There's nothing you could really find of it. There's also data of Chorus Kids, so chances are they were planned and they just got cut, and they didn't make it into Ultimate either. Rip.
Imagine telling somebody from Brawl era Smash that Joker would be a character.
I know, right? Yeah, they'd be like, the Joker? Holy shit, that's fucking awesome.
The Joker. No, I mean, I don't know. When did P5 come out?
2016.
Dude, I don't know.
February
Like,
27th.
okay, it's not telling them that Joker would come out, but showing them Joker and being like, this is going to be a Smash character, and he's holding a gun.
Ridley's gonna be in Smash, dude.
Okay, well, that was
King
like...
K, Banjo-Kazooie is in Smash now. Super Mario's in Smash now.
I feel like Joker is like more outlandish than any of them. I think Ridley is like... Ridley should have been in Smash from the beginning, dude. 64.
You
But
say
Ridley's
that, but
too big.
Yeah,
He's too big to
no,
put
like
in.
the two big memers were like the majority, especially since Sakurai himself was like, yeah, no, he's too big. that like killed that scene in the Christmas Story where Ralphie's like, I want a Red Ryder BB shotgun, and like Santa's like, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. When I was like, I want Ridley from Metroid and Super Smash Brothers, please, Mr. Sakurai, can you please give him to me? And then Sakurai just looks down at me. He's like, he's too big, kid, and he just kicks me down. I'm like, no.
Tech, do you like that movie?
I like A Christmas Story.
No.
I haven't watched
Noel's never seen it.
All right.
Sorry.
I'm on the wrong podcast then, because I hate that movie.
You don't like Twin Peaks either.
No, I like... Oh my God.
You don't like Twin Peaks? If you don't like season 3, fuck you, fake fan.
If there's a movie that you like think that I should have watched or like would assume that I've watched, I've not watched it.
Hey, Nolan,
that's
watch
me.
Journalism Not Guaranteed.
I watch it every time I edit it for fucking, this podcast takes two.
Oh, no, it's Safety Not Guaranteed. That was the joke I was trying to make. God damn it.
Yeah, I did watch that movie. There's like a really weird scene where Audrey Plaza like dips her hair into the toilet.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know why. It was just so out of the blue and didn't fit the tone of the movie at all.
Tech, have you watched it yet?
Nope.
But you got the OLED now.
I don't have a Blu-ray.
You have a PS3?
It's on Netflix, and you have a PS5.
Okay, well, I haven't gotten around to it yet. I don't know. Fuck you. I have to watch one movie a month, and it's not that.
Dude, watch it with Nate.
Maybe we're watching The Matrix
Reloaded?
Reloaded.
Oh.
Yeah, because I got him to watch The Matrix, and now and I really like The Matrix, and I've never seen the sequels, so I'm like, fuck it, we'll watch them together.
That's based Keanu.
You're gonna watch the Animatrix?
I want to, yeah.
Animatrix
because I hear
is
it's
sick.
actually good.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah. So the Gamatsu leak, it was definitely real in hindsight. The only thing I think the only characters it didn't guess were Bowser Jr., Duck Hunt, and Robin. I don't think he listed those characters in the.
Well, Robin wasn't out yet.
What do you
Awakening?
mean? No, you're thinking of Corrin. No, Robin.
Corrin. I'm
Robin's
thinking of
from
Corrin.
Robin is the Avatar character from Awakening. Yeah,
I know.
No,
You know, I bought
we
a-
don't need to talk about Corrin.
I bought like a 3DS specifically to play Awakening, and then I played half
That's
of it.
so weird.
I played half of it, realized that Awakening is not a good game, and then I sold my 3DS.
How did you buy into the hype of Awakening?
I like Fire Emblem.
I thought.
I tried playing Awakening and thought it wasn't good.
I was getting it mixed up with the Australian man again.
No,
For some reason, I thought you were the one who said that that Awakening ruined the series or what.
I mean, I don't think Awakening was that good, but I like the Fire Emblem GBA games. So I'm like, yes, how quaint! I shall play Fire Emblem on a handheld, and then I did, and then we know how that panned out.
We do now.
But yeah, no, that's I knew a guy in the Wii U era, Smash 4, who called Robin Robin. He
What is up with these weirdos? They have no excuse. People have no excuse to have characters, to name characters, say their names wrong. He says Xander Mobus says his name, Robin. It's like, fuck off.
Hey, can I talk about some breaking news? As in 16 minutes ago.
I'm making
Talking
a
about
new
the world ends
rule,
with
dude.
you.
No breaking news if we're past the news segment.
It's not our fault that they keep fucking showing off shit. The World
it's
Ends
not
With
our
You
fault.
came out.
Yeah,
I'm
Squeenix
watching
put
it
out
right
a trailer
now.
for the. I'm literally gonna also play.
Let me see. Link it, please.
These
link
character designs are fucking sick as hell.
I should probably play The World Ends With You at some point.
This is the live
Yeah.
commentary of the Twelwe trailer. Where
It's
you-
just
Neo?
showing off Is it The World Ends With You Neo or Neo The World Ends With You?
World Ends With You Neo.
Okay.
Or wait, no, it's Neo the World. I don't know.
I like.
Yeah, I mean, this game
I like that they're
looks
crediting
fucking
the voice
awesome.
actors in the trailer. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they do that a lot. The World Ends With You' soundtrack is fucking incredible. It is so goddamn good.
This is pretty cool. This is looking like very stylish.
Yeah. It's giving me some big Persona 5 vibes.
I was just about to
dude, this is
jokingly
just
say
like
that.
Persona
I hate you.
5.
It's giving me some Boss Baby vibes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So where's Sora at then?
He's apparently in the trailer from what I've
Oh,
seen
no
in the
shit?
comments.
Where?
The first reply to this, I don't know, but I'm.
Could be it could be a hater. Could be a hater.
We got
trying
2
to-
minutes left in it, so
I don't actually want to watch the whole thing while we're doing the podcast. Can we skip through it a little bit?
Yeah.
yeah. It's The World Ends With You.
It's coming out July 27th. That's basically
okay.
that's basically the news you need to know.
No post credits scene. All right, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, Twelwe coming to stores near you. We definitely could have covered this next week, and it wouldn't have been a problem.
Apparently, towards the end, Neku, the main character of Twelwe 1, shows up in like a hood.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, is he like older?
I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Whatever, who cares? Mighty Number 9. April 5th, 2016. I found this little nugget of news. Mighty Number 9 at this point was still on track for its spring 2016 release date. I believe it made its spring 2016 window by 1 day.
Do we have to talk about it?
Yes, we do. We need to talk about Mighty Number 9 because it was confirmed to become a launch title for the Tomahawk F1 Fuse by Fuse Entertainment. The Tomahawk F1 was a console exclusive to Chinese territories. It is also Fuse Entertainment. If that name rings a bell to any of you Mighty Number 9 backers, you will know them as the company that helped fund the Red Ash Kickstarter.
Do we have to talk about this?
I'm already half done talking about it. So yeah. So I don't actually know if Mighty Number 9 ended up launching on the Tomahawk F1. I know it didn't show up on the 3DS, so I assume it
What is the Tomahawk F1? Because I'm like out of the loop on this.
It's just a Chinese game console that was meant to compete with like the PS4 and the Xbox, but it was incredibly weak.
It's Android based.
It was one of those Android based consoles.
It's like the Ouya.
And no, I'll tell you what it's like. It's like the Soulja game console, because Soulja Boy himself was selling these because they bombed so fucking hard that they ended up on those freebooting, on those like freebooting websites like AliExpress and shit. So yeah, there you go. Just a little blast from the past. Everyone remember Mighty Number 9? Tab, you remember Mighty Number 9, right?
Unfortunately.
I believe Mighty Number 9 was one of the most successful gaming Kickstarters. A lot of Mega Man fans and fans of Keiji Inafune alike, they all pitched in a couple bucks to make his dream a reality.
As a Mega Man fan who had an influx of cash when the Kickstarter was happening, yes, I backed it. Yes, I spent too much money on it. Yes, I regret it.
Tabby, you have too many influxes of cash when things are happening. I think you need to fix that.
So, I definitely would have backed it if I had money at the time, but
I definitely would not.
It's okay. I backed it for you.
I like the top comments on.
How much did you back it for?
$250.
That's a lot of money.
And
you could buy
thrown
three.
everything away.
You could buy three of the vibrators for the PS2 for that money.
I could have bought a lot with that. I could have bought at the time. I could have bought a sealed like Mega Man 2 game.
That's cool. I like
all the good Mega Man games. I think for that much.
I had all the good Mega Man games. I own a copy of Mega Man 2.
Battle Network.
I end my statement. No, I'm kidding.
I'm Tabby. I love Mega Man. Only Mega Man 2, though.
No, I like Mega Man. I played I like Mega Man. I've only played 1 through 8.
Okay.
So.
I, for one, can find merits in all of the Mega Man games.
I like Battle Network.
I just haven't gotten around to playing X, okay? I'm
Link
sorry.
in the show notes.
Yeah. But the top comment on this is funny. It's, at this rate, we'll be too busy playing Bloodstained 2 before this game comes out.
I think it is nice that Bloodstained did eventually come out and was good.
Didn't have a trailer that was going like an anime fan on prom night.
Doesn't that guy still do like trailer stuff for
He did the Guilty Gear Strive trailer a couple weeks ago.
God bless him.
Mighty Number 9's international publisher Deep Silver. Egads, I had not realized that it would be published by that company. I definitely do not want to buy the game now.
Deep Silver is a shitty company, so I don't blame
Deep
him.
Silver.
Just egads.
Yeah, it's fucking commenters, man. And that's all my news. That's all my news from the past.
That's all the news.
I think I had some good news this week.
I think we've ended news. Like, there's just no more left. The podcast is done.
Yeah, we fucking killed news.
If I even hear one more news.
One more.
Well, let's refresh Twitter, see if there's any new news.
Yeah, I'm checking.
Outriders is out now.
Didn't Outriders come out last week?
Thank you, everyone, for listening to Journalism Not Guaranteed. Tune in next week when we don't talk about Outriders. And
We're not going to talk about Outriders ever again.
And
I legitimately have been thinking about buying it, playing it for 2 hours, and returning it.
Don't do that. That's scummy. But I probably will try it out, though.
Yeah, I mean...
You guys see my haircut, dude?
I do. I like your haircut. I do like your haircut a lot.
I cut it myself.
Link in the show notes.
No. Let's abstain from that. I literally show myself in my videos, but like I don't care.
Well, yeah, because they're waiting to see the new haircut for the new
True.
Reptile.
They're not gonna see it. I recorded all my footage for that already.